Jonathan Taylor is not only remaining an Indianapolis Colt, not being traded. He's out weeks 1 through 4. He's been put on the PUP list, meaning he cannot play football in weeks 1 through 4. He can return in week number 5, but a bad situation just turned a whole lot worse. Anybody that owns Jonathan Taylor right now just got a huge blow to their fantasy football outlook in 2023. And this was talked about. We talked about this over and over. There was some allure of grabbing JT at 3.1, 3.2, 3.4, risk it for the biscuit in one league, I told you. In one league, maybe in the 3rd round. But people continued to draft this man in round 2 when the red flags galore were everywhere. Jahmyr Gibbs over JT. Smitty, you can't possibly be serious. You take Gibbs over JT? He's going to get traded. We didn't know. We didn't know. Nobody knew. Nobody knew. Nobody knew how this was going to turn out. That's the problem with situations where there are multiple red flags everywhere. And this is why your boy said, if you're going to take a risk, take it in round 3. Do not take it as your second drafted player. We're talking about this and more. The Fantasy Football Show. Breaking news edition. Jonathan Taylor edition begins right now. File on in.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live!
Monday through Friday.
8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
We all were tempted to take JT. Let's not pretend that he didn't have some kind of fun, exciting value, when you got to the end of round 2, the turn. But there's an important rule that I always preach here on the Fantasy Football Show. There's an important strategy that I tell you all to take into your draft, and it is when you have multiple red flags. Multiple red flags. You avoid said player. And some of you texted me on the text line and says, Smitty, I drafted him. Do I take a lap? And I say, you grabbed him in the 3rd round. It's it is what it is. There's some upside there. I get it. What if he gets traded to the Eagles? What if he gets traded? He'll be okay. But on this channel, I've told you over and over, one of the biggest avoids in fantasy football. Jacobs is another one. Moving parts everywhere. And in the case of JT, he had a vulturing quarterback that he was looking at, taking away touchdowns. He had 2 injuries. 2 injuries. The back and the ankle. An ankle which has kept him out. From mid-season until right this very moment. And now has put him on the PUP list. This man will not play football until week 5. This man still could get traded after week number 5. When he returns from the PUP and he gets onto the football field, or he's capable or allowed, or he's activated off the PUP and he's capable of coming back, he could and might be traded still. There's still some hope that he's not somebody you go and give away. I'm not saying to go give away Jonathan Taylor, but people that drafted Breece Hall, Kenny Walker, Jahmyr Gibbs over JT cleaned up, and everybody that's drafting go forward. I don't even know where they're going to take JT at this point. I have no clue where his new ADP is going to be. I would love to see where you guys have JT ranked. 27% exposure on Underdog. Take a lap for not listening to your boy Smitty. My guy, work for what you want. You gotta take in what we're talking about when we say must avoid, pal. I'm not saying that he didn't have his allure. I'm not saying he didn't have that potential risk it for the biscuit feel, and we all wanted to grab him in 1 or 2 best ball drafts. But in your 1, 2, 3 leagues that you do, outside of best ball, this is not a guy. This was not a safe guy, not a guy to pick. Now, the question is, what do we do right now? What do we do moving forward? Where do we take him in upcoming drafts? Do you take him at all? I would love to know where you all would grab JT in an upcoming 2023 redraft draft. Where would you take him right now? If you're on the clock in round 6, would you take him in round 6? Or are we looking at a bunch of players that are better every single round, even through round 4, 5? Walker and Hall go in 4 and 5 sometimes. Pacheco and Swift are in round 6. Are you taking JT, who's out 4 weeks with a total unknown 2023 future, ahead of a guy like even Pacheco? I don't think I can. Are you going to pass on a T-Law if you don't have a quarterback to get a guy named JT? I'm not taking him in the top 6 rounds. I don't know about you. I wasn't taking him in the top 2 rounds. I wasn't really taking him in the top 3 rounds because Gibbs was always in round 3. Because Walker and Hall were still on the board. I'm not taking this man over Walker and Hall. I wasn't. Now you're definitely not. Nobody is. This is one of the biggest fantasy football debacles over there in Indianapolis. And the crazy part that I think nobody's talking about, and none of us can even have time to wrap our heads around, is how in the hell was this guy gonna get traded? And there was legitimate offers on the table, yet he's on the PUP list. Like, was he healthy? This was part of my problem. We didn't know if he was going to fail a physical. We didn't know if he was going to pass a physical. We didn't know if he was capable of playing football in week 1. Everybody just wanted to assume it would all be okay. And this is the same thing that people said about Barkley coming back from his ACL tear. And I don't want this to scare anybody away from Javonte and Breece Hall. Entirely different situations. You cannot blanket statement this kind of thing. But the writing was on the wall. Multiple red flags everywhere on the Saquon Barkley returning his first year back from an ACL tear. He wasn't ready. He wasn't cutting. The situation just wasn't conducive to an ACL return. Was he gonna have a lot of room to run? Was it a lot of open space for him? Was he gonna get hammered from the jump? Breece Hall, ready. He's 100% different in a different situation than what Barkley was. But there were so many moving parts and red flags. Taking Saquon at number 5 and 6 and 2 and 7 overall was the easiest thing to avoid in 2020. What was it, 2021? 2021? It was the easiest thing to avoid, period. Everybody just said it'll be okay. We'll draft Saquon for week number 10. Week number 5. We're not drafting Saquon for week 1. We're drafting him for week 4. Oh, week 4, he's out? He's not doing anything? Oh, we're not drafting Saquon for week 4. We're drafting Saquon for week 10. And this is not how you should look at Breece Hall. Some of you have come in here and repeated my own words to me and said, Smitty, remember when you said we're drafting Saquon for week number 2, week number 4? We can't do that. Why are you going to draft Breece Hall? He's got an ACL recovery. Learn about the difference between ACL recoveries. Learn about the difference between a ready player that's going around 4 and a Saquon Barkley who's not ready, who's going 5 overall. Big difference, Bob. Big difference. Learn about a player that has all these red flags. If he stays, he's got Anthony Richardson vulturing touchdowns. If he stays in Indianapolis, he's got an ankle injury, a potential back injury. If he stays, he's got a franchise that doesn't want him. If he stays, he's playing for a team he doesn't want to play for. Where's the motivation, Bob? Just like in Office Space. He comes into work a little late, 20 minutes late, kind of pretends to do some work. First hour or two, he's done probably about 20 minutes of actual work. He slips in late. He leaves early. This man's not motivated to play for the Indianapolis Colts. You can't blame him on one hand. And on the other hand, he did sign a contract. And it does feel like he needs to get it in gear. He needs to shape up and say, hey, I'm going to play for my future. And I kind of feel like he's not feeling that vibe. I kind of feel like this is the kind of guy that if he could, he'd sit out the entire season. If they paid him, he'd sit out the entire season. He doesn't want to play ball. He doesn't want to play ball for the Colts. Again, part of me doesn't blame him. Part of me does blame him. He signed a contract. Okay, so there's two sides to this coin. Let's not pretend it's all for the running back and all for the player. There are arguments for players that are under contract to come and play football. And this guy, we can't figure out if he's healthy or if he's hurt or if he deserves to be on the PUP, doesn't deserve to be on the PUP. The Colts say he's got a back injury. He says on Twitter, what back injury? No back injury, never reported a back injury, never had a back injury. I don't know, get your sources right. This is what he says. Then we find a report that surfaced where he did hit an injury report, or a Schefter or Rappaport report that said back injury, previously. And so there was a concern potentially of a back issue. We don't know if we believe him. We don't know if we believe the Colts. I don't know if we should believe either. This guy's now disappointed you a second year in a row. He's literally drop kicked you in the nuts 2 years in a row, and people were taking him in round 2 on a whim. On a whim. The reason I'm going at you so hard right now, if you're watching and you took JT, is number one, you need to go through the multiple red flag process and apply it to your drafting. You need to avoid players that have significant multiple red flags, and you need to identify when those are significant and when they're not. You need to look at someone like Breece Hall and say he's in round 4. It's different. The red flag value is different. Does he actually have a lot of red flags? His situation's brilliant. The guy's going to be spoon-fed, work all over the place. He's young. He's prepared. He's running 23 miles per hour. There is a red flag for sure for Breece Hall, but he doesn't have multiple red flags. You could say Dalvin Cook's a red flag all you want. This is an older player that just hit the field for the first time today. Guess who's been out there working the last few weeks, running between the tackles, running 23 miles per hour, hitting it hard, in the trenches, 11 on 11, Breece Hall. Guess who hasn't been out there? Dalvin Cook. Red flags galore all over this situation. And he drop kicked people in the nuts. Drop kicked you. We need to stay away from multiple risk factors. But again, we're here to talk about the big question here. Like, what is going on? Is he really hurt? No one knows. No one knows. This is a man that was about to be traded. He was about to be traded. No teams were talking about, oh, well, he's injured. And maybe that comes out. Maybe we hear leaked reports of, Eagles were interested, but they didn't think he passed a physical. That could come out. And it may not. We don't know yet. Because nobody knows. Nobody knows, is he really hurt? Nobody knows, is he really hurt? Or is he just getting screwed over? Or is he helping screw over fantasy owners by allowing the PUP and, acknowledging there's injury, when there maybe isn't? We don't know. Because if he got traded, I don't think he'd go on the PUP. If he got traded, I don't think this man would be out weeks 1 through 4. Now he's out weeks 1 through 4 because he was placed on the PUP, which means he cannot play weeks 1 through 4. The Colts are not trading Jonathan Taylor. And they put him on the PUP list, which according to every single piece of news out there, he is on the PUP list. He's being placed on the PUP list. And on the PUP list, he is out for at least the first 4 games of the season. The question is, will he remain out? Will he come back? Will he be traded upon his return? Will a team want to take him on? Will you be able to get him at such a discount if you're the, let's say, the Eagles, and you say, hey, we don't have a full season with JT, and they say to JT, we'll trade for you, but we'll address your contract in the offseason. If you ball out, we'll give it to you. If you don't, we're not going to trade for you. And JT's going, I'd rather get out and ball out for you than get out and ball out for them. So we have no idea what is going to happen. And therefore, nobody should be drafting this man inside their top 6 rounds, let alone probably even a few rounds after that. If ever. He's almost undraftable to some people that know how to build their fantasy team properly. Like, are you really going to take this guy over a Jahan Dotson in round number 6 or 7 who's gonna help you every single week? If you've waited on quarterback, are you really gonna allow T Law, the law dog, to slip to somebody else in round 6.5 because you want to go bargain shopping? There's a need for some people to go bargain shopping, which is what led many of you down the road of JT, which is leading many of you down the road of Jacobs, because the Jacobs situation is different, but there are so many red flags in the Josh Jacobs situation. I'm screaming it as loud as I can. Could I be wrong? Absolutely. Do I think I'll be wrong? I do not. This man failed you. Jacobs has a high likelihood to fail you. Maybe he won't. Maybe you take on the risk. The risk level is 60, 70% that he's going to disappoint you, and you skate by. And then at the end, you're like, Smitty, you were wrong. Yeah, you defied the odds. You're playing an odds game with every decision you make in fantasy football. I'm not going to be right on every one of my, hey, don't go this route. But if you follow the process of avoiding players with multiple red flags, not one, not two, multiple red flags, like on two hands, you will more often than not have a successful fantasy football season that is not bombarded with injuries and kicks to the nuts every time something like this unravels and you ask yourself, how did this happen? Why did I take him? Literally telling you all offseason long, this is a big, big risk, guys. So Jacobs, I'm here to hammer home the Jacobs situation. I'm here to tell you that there are similarities between these two situations, even though there's a different risk red flag here, a different risk here. And there are going to be people that take the same track. They're going to get on the train. Alex, no offense, but Alex is going to say, he's fine. Welcome, Alex, who is a Jacobs owner, by the way. Jacobs is fine now that he's signed. Okay. Thanks, Jacob. Or Alex. Alex, we'll risk assessment, people. Risk assessment. There probably is no riskier player than Josh Jacobs right at this moment in time, now that this man is off the table. Now you're dealing with the player in Jacobs who has not only Jimmy Garoppolo, who can't move the football down the field, no red zone, not going to be sniffing the red zone on the regular, close to 400 touches, which is in most accounts a death sentence in itself. In itself. For a fantasy football running back to have about 400 or more touches, death sentence. For the most part, by itself. And then you mix in that this man sat out. He sat out all of August. And he's coming back to play cold turkey football, which, let's call it, well over 50% of the time leads to a significant injury at some point during the season because he's not ready. He's not ready. Yeah, and this, Jack, this is what we heard with JT. How many of you, raise your hand in here, if when your boy said stay away from JT, we had people that came in and like Jack, no offense, Jack, they came in and said Jacobs is fine in round 3. JT's fine in round 3, Smitty. You're telling me JT at 2.10 isn't good? JT at 2.10's fine, Smitty. He's going to be fine, Smitty. How many people, raise your hand, if you were in the chat when we had pushback on JT that smelled an awful lot like this? Raise your hand. Put your hand up in the chat. Put a thumbs up in the chat. So, Jack, I appreciate you, Jack, and I'm rooting for you, Jack. I'm rooting for you. We're like Rose on the boat in Titanic at the end, on the door, and we're like, Jack, come back. Jack, come back, Jack. We want you back, Jack. Don't go the way of Jacobs into the ocean, into the sea, into the abyss, Jack. Come back to us. Climb on. There's room on top of the door. We all know the door wasn't going to sink. There's a hand. There's a hand. There's a hand. Hands galore. Red flags galore. Jacobs has almost more red flags than Taylor, Jack. Okay? Don't go into the abyss, Jack. This is bad. This is bad, people. Damage control. That's why your boy's here. I'm here to help you get out of this situation the best I can. Thank you, Donnie. Donnie's been keeping track. This is why Donnie went to college. Look at this man with the numbers and the mathematics. Donnie says Smitty's been doing it 20 years. Donnie knows what he's talking about.
Mashed potatoes!
Yeah, buddy.
That's my boy Donnie. That's my boy Donnie. There's another avoid right there. James Conner. Good God. Good God. If there was ever two running backs that I could just shoot out of my mouth right now and say, bro, avoid him. James Conner. What in the hell are some of you doing invested in James Conner? The Cardinals are taking a dive. They're taking a dive. They're not going to be near the red zone. Conner's injury prone and survives off touchdowns. And we got people out there left and right drafting this man as if he's one of the sneakier running back twos in fantasy because there's no threat of volume. You don't need threat of volume. You need injury-prone running back in said situation without a chance of sniffing the end zone. This guy needs corrective lenses to see the pylons down there. He's like, okay, guys, maybe we see that pylon at some point in the fourth quarter, potentially. Conner, avoid. JT, avoid. Check. Jacobs, avoid. Check. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have two more pieces of news that I just want to cover here. We'll hit more news as it comes in. But Bailey Zappi was waived. Zappi's waived. Cunningham season. Superflex owners out there, listen to the words coming out of my mouth. Go get Malik Cunningham and do it live. Go do it live. This guy Cunningham has the potential to crack the lineup, and I know there's a lot of Mac Jones believers out there, but Malik Cunningham is a potential steal in fantasy football super flex. I don't want to hear anybody talking about Mac Jones right now. Mac Jones ain't surviving. Mac Jones is not an athlete. Mac Jones can't even play tennis properly. He says he can. He can't play. He can't bowl. He can't golf. He can't play basketball. He can't play any sport. They interviewed this man. They're like, do you do anything? Are you athletic at all? And he's like, I can play a little tennis. I think I'm pretty good at tennis. This guy can't play tennis. I bet you anything I could beat him in tennis. This guy's not an athletic man. We're talking about Mac Jones. Cunningham is. Cunningham's season will eventually be underway. Cunningham got cut. Hold on. No. Tell me he didn't get cut. No. How did he get cut too? Who's picking him up? Well, that sucks. That sucks. At least I didn't prepare a scene. Good Lord. Yeah, I'll take a lap again. Yeah, that was a little awkward. Man, why are you going to cut Zappi and Cunningham? What are they doing? What are they doing? Can I get a New England Patriot fan to call in real quick? What are you guys doing? I'm in shock right now. How do you guys cut Malik Cunningham after you take a bath on Bailey Zappi? Can I get someone to explain this to me? Bro, I'm shocked. I'm absolutely shocked. Well, Malik Cunningham's a free agent.
Mashed potatoes.
Let's go Cardinals. Let's go Cardinals. Bring him over to AZ. Oh, wait, we're taking a dive for Caleb. Well, I don't know what to tell you then. Well, okay. First bad take of the year. Yeah, I guess. But I'm not wrong about Cunningham. That's for sure. But good Lord, why would you cut Bailey Zappi? And let me just see why this happened. Let me try and research this real quick, because this makes no sense at all. This makes no sense whatsoever. Holy shit. Patriots and Cardinals tanking. Oh my God. This sucks. Well, let's move on to Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy! Hamstring not going on, will not go on the short-term injured reserve, which is a good sign for his availability for week 1. Yeah, Pats fans got to be really, really upset. Someone's going to scoop up Cunningham, and he's going to help a team. This is crazy. Mac Jones to the moon? No, this means the Patriots. This is very bad news for the New England Patriots. The Patriots had one shot at being a potential surprise this year, and it was through the legs and potential evolving arm. No one's calling Malik Cunningham an absolute monster already in the passing game, but he is with his feet. So, yeah, I mean, guys, I'm trying to break news live. I've got so much going on. Of course, I'm going to miss these things from time to time. I'm not as embarrassed as you think, John. Let's see you go live 75 hours a day. Let's see you be on 2 hours of sleep, John. Okay, John? Let me see if I got a Pats fan. You better be a Pats fan, Lando, because the phone lines aren't open yet. You better be a Pats fan.
So, yeah, I mean, guys, I'm trying.
Hey, what's up?
Are you a Pats fan?
Smitty, what's going on, bro? Yeah, I'm a Pats fan. I'm
Okay,
from Boston.
explain
What's
to
going
me.
on, bro?
Explain to me what Bill just did. Why in the hell would he cut Malik Cunningham after you cut Bailey Zappi?
Well, yeah, I just got off the phone with Bill just moments ago. The hoodie just let me know that he got rid of Cunningham and Zappi a couple of days after already getting rid of McSorley as well. So we're
What in the
I don't know where we're
hell,
down to
bro?
at the moment. One quarterback.
What in the hell, bro? Like, literally, when I saw this news that Zappi was cut, and these cuts are happening today, guys, so calm down in the chat. Zappi, right here, Patriots waive Zappi. He was assumed QB2 entering the Pats training camp, but has now been left off the initial 53-man roster. Now, they could bring back one of these guys, you know, and they could hit the practice squad, or that, you know, they could bring them back. So it's not like the craziest thing in the world, like in terms of that, like they could find their way back on the roster. But this is just crazy. Like, why in the hell would you cut both those guys unless you're taking a dive? Which I don't know that Bill's in that mindset, because Bill, he's fighting for his job. Every year Bill fails. How is he gonna? What's he gonna do? You know, what's he gonna do if he goes out there and looks like he failed with Mac Jones? He needs that situation.
Yes, sir.
So, anyway, hey, I got to get back to the Super Chats and the news. But, hey, you got anything real quick, Lando? Thank you for calling in. I wanted a Patriots fan to call in and explain what in the hell your coach is thinking, cutting both quarterbacks when his job is probably on the line.
Yeah, it's tough to say. I mean, the good thing about these cuts for the league wide is that there's going to be a bunch of players that will be available for not only the Patriots but for many other teams. Running back is also another concern, more so like on the back end behind Elliott and Stevenson. But some players were cut from other teams: Malik Davis, Generic Prince. There's a lot of guys going around, but the quarterback situation in New England is a little bit concerning.
You guys are in trouble, bro. You guys are in such trouble. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous why you would cut Malik Cunningham. Anyway, I got to move on. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
All right, call in later. All right, anyway. Jerry Jeudy, good news that Jerry Judy's not, put on the short-term injury list. It just means they expect him to be potentially available for week 1, but Jerry Judy's another big avoid. Judy's a big avoid. Jacobs is a big avoid. JT's been one of the biggest avoids. Adams is a big avoid. Cunningham's now a big avoid. Nate Dogg dropping the $2 hauler. Devontae Ridley, Watson, pick 2. Ridley and Devonta Smith. Watson, you can draft later if that's the question. You know what I'm saying, bro? This here from Mac. Mac, appreciate your super chat. Shoddy, appreciate your super chat. Big Dog dropping a $2 hauler. Jeffrey dropping a $1.99. Overcome dropping a $5 hauler. The Vietnamese guy dropping a $5 hauler. Appreciate you, my main man. We've got Rax Poker dropping a $5 hauler. We got Red dropping the first $20 super chat on the screen here. Garrett dropping the $4.99, and Overcome was the first super chatter of the night. Attaboy, thank you. Let me put Red's super chat on the screen and give Red the proper standing ovation. Red, thank you for the $20 hauler. Kind sir. Kind sir.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Good God. I keep hitting that button. Red says, Smitty, would you trade Kelsey for Mahomes straight up? No, I mean, in a super flex, yes. In a non-super flex, where are you drafting Mahomes? Round 3. Where are you drafting Kelsey? Top 5? Answer's no, Red. The answer is no. If it's super flex, where are you drafting Mahomes? Number 1, number 2, number 3. Where are you drafting Kelsey? Maybe top of round 2? Answer's no. No matter what your team or your roster or the situation looks like, this is not a good trade. No matter what way you spin it. In Superflex, especially not a good trade. In 1 QB, very, very bad trade. Rounds apart, bro. Absolutely not Smitty approved. Red, appreciate you. Give me that Kelsey side and give me the Mahomes side on Superflex. You know what I'm saying? Like these are miles apart in each of those situations for different reasons. Mahomes in Superflex is number 1, number 2 overall. Kelsey in non-Superflex is number 5, number 6 overall. 4, if you want. Mahomes is a 3rd rounder or bottom of round 2. No, Red. No, Red, no. Buddy didn't bite on White, Madison, Dotson for Walker with me being the Sharp owner. Then maybe just say, you know what, fine, I'm going to keep Charbonnet. What do you want for him? 1 offer, 1 trade talk. Hit me with your best offer. I'm walking away. Pull an Ursay and say you're not gonna pay running backs. You're just gonna keep Charbonnet on that cheap and cycle him through. Overcome, appreciate your $5 hauler. I would definitely entertain the idea of giving him Charbonnet, but he's got to overpay. And maybe he's that owner that just says he doesn't care, and you got to move on, and that's the way it is. But you got Charbonnet. That's a good value piece for you. Move on to different players. Don't waste your time with that owner if he's just not trading, period. One of the worst trades ever in the Moonman League is looking a lot better. JT is a punk. Aaron Jones and Mike Thomas for JT and Gabe Davis, by the way. Wow. Okay, so that was what the trade was in the Moonman League. Oh wow. You know, it's so weird what a day does. You know, like JT, okay, in the Moonman League, it was Aaron Jones and Mike Thomas for JT and Gabe Davis. That was a crazy trade. That looked like a horrible trade. I mean, even with the threat to JT and all that, it still looked like a horrible trade. And now Aaron Jones gets drafted over JT. What a difference a day makes, ladies and gentlemen. What a difference a day makes, you know, for trades. It's so funny how bad that looks now. Nate, appreciate your super chat again. Thank you for everything. Rax Poker dropping a $5 hauler. Would you trade DJ Moore, Khalil Herbert for Derrick Henry, Cousins, Walker, Pacheco, Garrett Wilson, Amon-Ra, Ridley, Christian Watson, Tony, Kmet, Ferguson, Anthony Richardson? I'm still shocked that Cunningham got released. I still am just in utter shock. Maybe he's back on the roster, though. You know, they quickly bring him back in. This happens all the time. If I'm a team, I'm scooping up Cunningham so quick. If I'm the Philadelphia Eagles, I'm scooping up Cunningham very, very, very quick. If I'm the New York Jets, I mean, if I'm any team, I grab Cunningham. I'm in pure shock right now at Bill's idiocy. Rax Poker, would you trade DJ Moore and Khalil Herbert for Derrick Henry? Yes, I would. Even worrying about his workload, his 29 age season here, I still would do that because DJ Moore's a fourth rounder, and Henry's a second. If not for trade value alone, I don't even care what the team looks like, bro. I'm gonna close your team because I don't even need to see it because now you have a trade piece that you don't have right now. So I do that. I take Derrick Henry's side. 2 days ago, I started my draft. Chase, St. Brown, Waddle, Taylor. Try to tell you a Vietnamese guy. Lamar. My other running backs include Dobbins, White, James Cook. All voids for me, frankly. And Mitchell. Do you stay put? No. And you can't stay put. I mean, I don't like those RBs. I'm trading White and Dobbins for, try your best to get into a player that's maybe a little undervalued that you can try and steal away from somebody. You might have to trade Lamar and go, commando at quarterback, like we say with the tight end position. You have no choice, really. I mean, your team's still good. St. Brown, Waddle, Chase, Lamar. You might survive. You might survive, bro. But you definitely went from like a lead dog to a 4th or 5th or 6th team in your league with a shot if everything goes well. If James Cook's a baller, if J.K. Dobbins is a baller, like you could be okay. But maybe you're just trying to get a safer running back 2 option to put and pit next to. Well, that is your running back 2. That is your running back 1. Yeah, man, I don't know what to tell you other than Walker right now is attainable. I don't know if you can give up Dobbins and White or James Cook and White or James Cook and Dobbins. You probably got to keep one of them as your running back too. Kamara's interesting for you. You might take a little bit of a bath in weeks 1 through 2. Maybe you survive. Maybe you win 1 out of the 3 games. Maybe you win 2 out of the 3 games just because of matchups, and then Kamara's there for you. That would be tempting. Part of me would want to take JT to the Kamara owner and just see if maybe there's something you can do. Can you give him James Cook to make that swap? And then all of a sudden you got Kamara, Rashad White, and J.K. Dobbins. Like that might be a move that you can maybe make. Overcome dropping a super chat here, a $5 hauler. Dak, Olave, Madison, or T-Law Ridley stack. Dak, Olave, Madison, or T-Law Ridley. Give me T-Law Ridley, but there's some pros and cons to both sides of that, but I want T-Law Ridley. Landed 4 Marsmen in my home league tonight, last night's draft. Attaboy, Jeffrey. Thank you for the super chat, Jeffrey. Shoddy says hit the like button. Thank you, Shoddy, for the message and chat, bro. Appreciate you, man. Alex Mack says $10 hauler. All $10 haulers get that moon shot of glory, and I appreciate you, Alex. Alex says Smitty might rate my team. Herbert, Carr, CMC, Bijan, Josh Jacobs, I trade him. D-Hop, Deontay, I trade him. Michael Thomas, I trade him. Juju, Odell, Rondell Moore. I feel like you started off potentially on a path that I was okay with, CMC and Bijan. But Jacobs, you're got to be a Raiders fan potentially. Or maybe, I don't know. What's going on here, bro? I don't know if I like this squad too much, bro. I'm sorry. Herbert, Carr, I appreciate your super chat. I'm just being honest. Herbert, Carr, CMC, Bijan, Jacobs. Maybe you could trade Jacobs, who I think's getting drafted higher than Walker and Hall in almost every single format in every single league. I would go get Walker. I would go get Breece Hall for Jacobs, and you could probably get a little bit more. You might even be able to turn Deontay into somebody's Dotson or Pickens in that swap, a 2 for 2. You pull off that, and Alex, your team's in it. I just think you need one move. I just would not go down the same rabbit hole that people were going down with Taylor, and I feel like you are with Jacobs there. You're one move away. That's not bad. Take my critique as, take it with a grain of salt, because I could be wrong on Jacobs. I could be wrong on Deontay, but you're one move away. I'm just being honest, and that's what you're asking me the question for. Those are the moves that I would potentially look. I'd take Jacobs, divide him into a player I quietly like better at RB, gain another little bump somewhere using Deontay, And that's one move that turns you into a contender right there. Buddy didn't bite on the white. Okay, thank you, Overcome. I think I already read that one. Appreciate you. Does this mean Mac Jones to the moon? Absolutely not. Riley with a super chat, $10 hauler. All $10 haulers get moonshots. I can't believe Cunningham was released. I'm so upset. I'm so upset. Pacheco, McKinnon, Walker, and there's so many releases today. It got drowned out too. I was even on NBC Sports. They got nothing on Cunningham being cut. Now it's just there's so many cuts happening right now. I can't believe Cunningham was cut. $10 hauler from Riley. Riley says Pacheco, McKinnon, Walker, Charbonnet, good running back combination. I have that in the Marsmen League. JT enough to get me by. Yeah, if you have JT and you have that crew, you're probably okay. I don't think you can trade JT for anything. You could always entertain. There'll be some ambulance chaser that comes knocking, but he's going to try and get him for like a, I don't know. He's going to try to get him for like 1/2 of the KC running back crew, like kind of move. Like I know you've got Pacheco, McKinnon, but like that's what he'd do. Is like, I got McKinnon, I'll give you a McKinnon for JT. That's the kind of moves you would get, offers you get. Burrow, Seahawks, Chiefs, Chase, Garrett Wilson, Hopkins. Your team's really, really good. You should survive. But, man, imagine if you listen to me, Riley, and you use that pick on Gibbs or, a Breece Hall or something, Riley, it's a good team, though. You should survive. You did a really good job drafting, though. You crushed it. Unfortunately, you crushed it, and now you're back to even. You're now a human. You're not superhuman anymore. You could have been superhuman with that team. That was an absolute monster of a squad, bro. $5 hauler, your thoughts. 12 team, 8th pick, Burrow, Gibbs, Swift, Lamb, St. Brown, Hopkins, Kincaid, Okonkwo, JSN, Charbonnet, Bigsby, Warren, Dell. Very decent looking team. I mean, Swift is risky as your running back too. I'm not going to lie. Bigsby's really your only second running back asset that you have. So you're in trouble if, let's say, Swift goes down or something, but you've got a crafty running back room for sure. St. Brown, Lamb, D-Hop, that's very intriguing. It's 12-man. If I'm being completely honest, I'd say you don't have an extreme edge over everybody. You have a very well-placed team in every single round, essentially. Like, you look at it and you say, Lamb is a first-rounder. Okay. St. Brown is a first-round, second-rounder. So that's like your 12, 13 turn picks right there. 604 of you in the building. Hit that thumb-up button. I can't believe Malik Cunningham was cut. You've got a first and second-round turn picks right there, right? So you probably had the 10, 11, 12 pick, right? So, or no, you had the 8 pick. So you had a lower first-half pick. You took St. Brown or Lamb first. I don't know. You got a steal in round 2, but you got a later half first-round pick. Then in round number 3, you may have bid on Gibbs. That was perfect. That was good. In 4, you got Burrow. In 5, you got probably, if I had to guess, I'd say D-Hop. So you've got a player in every single round. I'm not running into a situation when I plot your team out in my mind and say, you got a player you shouldn't have got. You've got a player right where they were going straight down, which is good. You didn't reach. But this team isn't like blowing me out of the water. Like I'm gonna go and place some scratch on you winning your league. I would say you're in the top 5 or 6. I would say you're maybe one move away from some kind of monster takeover in your league. I don't know what that could be unless Kincaid or Okonkwo take over and become, somebody amazing to trade. Bigsby, knock on wood, gets in the lineup and becomes a top 10 running back that you can trade. JSN does what JSN's capable of doing and you could trade him. Those are the things that I would consider things that could move the needle for you. But unfortunately, you have to wait because none of those things you can't move anything right now until those things happen. So you're going to wait it out. You're going to gut it out. You're going to try and get some wins. And I think you can, and hope that one of your bench guys either tears it up so well that it just helps your lineup out and that's the difference maker, or you have some trade power. Thank you for the super chat. And it's a really good team. You did good. Ricky, $10 hauler. All $10 haulers get a moonshot. Appreciate you, Ricky, for dropping that wad on screen. Ricky's question is as follows. Ricky says, Smitty, 10-man, PPR, 2 flex, drafted from the 1.2. Chase, Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, Burrow, London, Javonte, JSN, Dodson. Now, this team feels a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? If you look at this team, it's a 10-teamer, though. But you look at this team and you say, Chase, round 1. Garrett Wilson, round 1. He's got 2 round 1 players in my mind. So he's already ahead of the game, even in a 10-teamer, because I see Garrett Wilson as an 8 to 10. And then you look at this team and you say, Gibbs, round 3, love it. Even in 10-man, round 3, smash. Brees Hall, round 4. Burrow, round 4. London, round 4-5. Javante, round 5-6. So he's ahead of the game. Dotson, 6-7-6. Probably 5-6-7, anywhere. Dotson's going like in top of 6 now, sometimes late 5. In a 10-man, probably round 6. You know, you got a really, really, really deep team that feels like it has players that maybe 1 or 2 players that it shouldn't have. And that's how you know you conquered your draft. And Smitty approved Ricky's team. And I'd say Ricky's probably top 4. I bet you he's ranked really low according to his league platform. They probably said, Ricky, your team's the 9th best out of 10 because we don't trust Gibbs yet. Blackbeard, $2 hauler, drop the exclusive membership link in the chat. That's a great, great suggestion. If anybody wants to be a YouTube exclusive member and get their name in green font and be able to drop the exclusive emojis, here is the link right there. I just dropped it in the live chat. Blackbeard, appreciate you doing Blackbeard things. Excellent moderator. Excellent guy. Appreciate you, Blackbeard. God, I can't believe Malik Davis was cut. I'm going to say it all show. Ian with the super chat. I didn't attach anything, but $4.99 holler. Thank you, Ian. Appreciate you. And I'll look for a message that you might have tried to leave with it or something. I don't know. You got to attach it in there for me to find it right away. Thanks for the underdog team, by the way. Or that's an underdog team, by the way. Okay, Alex, nice job with the squad. Then I like it. Nice job, Alex. Appreciate you. Mark Cleveland with the $5 hauler. Starting running back for Colts. And thoughts on Hunt. I mean, Hunt could, yeah. I think Evan Hall's obviously a good pickup. I think Dion's going to get a shot. I think they're going to definitely bring some people in. I don't think this is the end of it. I don't think that necessarily the starter in midseason is going to be necessarily on the roster at even this moment in time. Maybe they are. Maybe they aren't. Tough to know what's going to happen. You know, I don't even know if somebody signed while I've been live right now that we need to talk about. But yeah, this is a evolving situation. JT could be back in week 5 playing for the Indianapolis Colts, so they may just hang on and put Evan Hall in there. Evan Hall and also Dion, they're good pickups and holds for sure. They're potentially good flex plays. They ran the ball rather well near the goal line, and it was surprising that they scored 2 rushing touchdowns via the running backs and not through Anthony Richardson during Anthony Richardson's big debut. But I don't know that that's going to necessarily be the case on game day. I think they were trying to see what the offense could do, how it could function, and they got some production out of the running backs, and I think they were pretty happy with that, and they executed it pretty well. So I don't know that we're going to see necessarily this team, you know, have a very productive, consistent running back. But they're definitely worth grabbing those Colts running backs for right now, and keep an eye on every single free agent situation right now, especially relating to the Colts. So the Colts will definitely bring some names in. Benny Snell was released. David Sills was, let's see, let me go through some of the. Des Fitzpatrick was released by the Steelers. Prince was released by the Kansas City Chiefs. Jerry Jeudy was not on the short-term injury reserve to start the season, so that's good for his potential availability for like week 2, maybe week 1, but probably not. Saints released Darrell Williams. Trey Sermon was released by the Eagles. Malik Taylor was released by the Jets. Justin Ross made the 53-man roster. There's still no sign of Malik Cunningham on here. Zappy waived by the New England Patriots. They also released. God, it's a footnote at the end of this right here. Malik Cunningham at the back of this. Kevin Harris and Malik Cunningham, but no real mention of Malik Cunningham. Cunningham could be the Taysom Hill type for Bill Belichick's offense, was the last report from NBC Sports on him. And there's just no talk about it. I can't believe he was released. What a stupid move by Bill Belichick. Crying Brian, $10 hauler.
To the moon.
To the moon, Crying Brian. Appreciate you, my guy. 14 team. That's tough. 0.5 PPR, 5 points per passing touchdown. That puts Burrow in a nice positioning for you there. Burrow, Gibbs, Javonte, Chase, London, Musgrave, Dotson at flex, benches Swift. It's a good bench running back. Tank Dell, I like it. Trade advice, upgrade tight end to running back. I mean, to upgrade, you got to move some of those guys that I don't know that I want you necessarily moving. I suppose I would look at like trading Swift and maybe Dotson for one better player, or Swift and London for one better player, or Swift and Javonte if someone's completely botched their running back stable that has like a slightly better running back. But I don't know that that's going to be easy to do. I think your best move is to take Swift and replace Dotson or London, or not at all, because they're going to be hard to upgrade. I like London a lot. I like Dotson a lot. And I don't think at this point in time people like them as much as we do. So if you go to somebody and you say, hey, give me your Calvin Ridley for my Swift and Dotson, they're probably going to say no way. Or if you go a little higher than that and you say, give me your St. Brown, they're not going to do it. The Deebo Samuel comes to mind as a potential player to maybe go get using that combo, but at the same time, it's like Dotson and Swift could produce better for you, and you almost kind of need that depth. So it's a give and a take. It's a pro and a con to trade away a guy like Swift and Dotson, or Swift and London, when they haven't even attained their value yet. I think my ultimate advice for you, Crying Brian, is to say you don't have enough depth to really make a trade yet. You need Tank Dell to go earn some value. You need Dotson to go cement in his value that people think he could be capable of, but they're not willing to pay for it. You need London to go out and prove that he can survive with Bijan and survive with Ritter throwing him the football. And then once you gain value with Javonte, you've got some upgrade potential, and you'll also have players struggling in weeks 1, 2, 3, 4 that will allow you to maybe do some sort of trade. That allow you to go buy low on a player that everybody's sleeping on. So, Crying Brian, I would say for now, you stand down, don't make any trades, and hold off on that. Chase and Madison, Olave, or J.J. Jacobs. Chase, Madison, Olave. Give me Chase, Madison, Olave by quite a bit, and then I trade Madison. That's a good move, though. We got a $20 hauler from Smokin' Jays. Smokin' Jays, appreciate you for dropping it, doing it like Smokin' knows how to do.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Smokin' Jays, I keep going to that screen. James Conner, avoid him. 10-man, $20 hauler, 10-man, PPR, Superflex, Bijan, St. Brown, Garrett Wilson. Woo! Love that trio. Gibbs, love that quad. Watson, love that 5. Gino, not in love with Gino, but at that situation, I mean, I don't know if I would have taken him that high. Is this a super? Oh, it's a super flex. But hey, you got Gino and Love. That's pretty good. You really swung and said, I'm gonna go get the non-QB talent, and you came in and you pretty much did pretty well. Love and Gino is not bad, bro. JSN, Goddard. I like this team. Should I try and trade up for a better QB? I would try. I keep Love. Love's a secret weapon, second quarterback in Superflex. But Gino and, let's say, Pacheco, Gino, and you could wait for a struggling quarterback. You're also a great candidate to go into weeks 1 and 2, let some players slump, let Gino produce, and let JSN pop off, let Pacheco pop off, and then you've got some options. I don't know that you're getting what you want from your crew. Very underrated, very on the rise. You're probably ranked very, very low by design because you're taking breakouts that haven't done it yet. Unless you can trade, Jamal Williams or Sky Moore or Pacheco or JSN or Christian Watson at value we agree with Gino to upgrade into Fields, I'm not making a move yet, and you've got a really good team, and I let it ride for a week or two, and then you try and come in here during buy low season and scoop up talent, if you know what I mean. Great team, great approach, very crafty. Appreciate your $20 hauler, and we got another from Nico, 20.
Alert. Super chat alert. Alert.
Nico, I'm still distraught over Cunningham getting cut. He's gonna talk about it all show. 10-man PPR: Kelsey, Amon-Ra, Ridley, Najee, DJ Moore, Fields. Very good. Kamara, Javonte, Zay, JSN. Wow, you did a really good job. Thanks for the content. You just put my dad on your show, and we both drafted great. Attaboy, Nico. Tell your pops, good job as well. Tell your pops he raised a nice, well-mannered young man that is intelligent, and he knows what he wants, and he went out and took care of business. That is one of the better 10-man Kelsey drafts I've seen in a while. Kelsey, Amon-Ra, Ridley, Najee, DJ Moore, Fields, Kamara. You don't even need to make trades. You got so much depth there with guys I love that I don't really, I mean, unless you're trading like Najee Harris for, Walker and Charbonnet, which I prefer. But Najee's got appeal that's near similar. Really, he really does. ETN's interesting too if you wanted to sidestep. But like Najee, ETN, Walker, they're all really close. So what are you going to do? Unless you're getting Pollard like Najee and maybe a, JSN, or if Tony gains some value. But I like this team enough to say I don't touch this one either. You guys have drafted, the last couple of you, Nico is the last one. Last couple of you drafted teams that there's not always a, hey, go make a trade. Sometimes you have the right players. And I don't really want you going and moving things around until at least some players go out and slump. And then you can make some buy low offers when we see and identify the good buy low players. For all the hard work and never-ending supply of amazing, fun fantasy content. Thanks, Smitty. Thank you, Michael. And I appreciate you guys putting up with me sometimes. So, I'm not always right. And, occasionally I have a misstep like today. But in all fairness, this news is all breaking like today, like right now. Super chat galore. Michael, $20 holler.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Okay, why do I keep going to that screen? Michael, I can't thank you enough for that $20 holler, bro. Giovanni dropping the 10 watt on screen. Giovanni's 12-team Superflex League is right in front of your face. 501 of you in here, only 162 thumbs up. I'm still giving away 5 The Fantasy Football Show memberships, and I'm doing that tonight at midnight. Anybody that tagged a fire emoji, and I'll do the same thing today. Same post, the Ridley post. Go to the Ridley post. The Ridley post is like my second to last one on Instagram. So go out to my Instagram, and on my grid, you'll see like a Ridley post, like second, I think. It's a Ridley catch. It's a amazing catch. It shows it from 2 angles. Go to my Instagram, The Fantasy Football Show, and drop multiple fire emojis and tag a couple buddies. And I will go in, and you don't have to tag anybody, but it's helpful if you do, and maybe the next contest will require that. But just tag a couple buddies if you could. But I'm going to go in there, and every once we breach 200 thumbs up, I've got 173 right now. Once we breach 200, every 100 increment, we're going to be giving away a The Fantasy Football Show membership. We earned 5 of them yesterday because we had 500 likes in the live stream while we were live yesterday. 500 likes. We had over 500 to 600 people in the live stream pretty much the whole show, and we had 500 likes by the end of the live stream when we hit end. And I'm giving away 5 memberships tonight. But I'm going to give away, as soon as we hit 200, I'm giving away another one. As soon as we hit 300, I'm giving away another one. As soon as we hit 400 likes, I'm giving away another one. And I'll do all of that at midnight tonight. So punch that thumb up button. Appreciate you, everybody. Giovanni, $10 hauler. Rate my team, 12-team PPR Superflex tight end premium. Let's remember that one. Tight end premium. Wide receiver 3. 2 running backs 2. 2 flexes. Kelsey, smash. Chubb, Pollard, smash. Daniel Jones, not horrible, but considering what you're doing here. Jordan Love, love the second quarterback option. And Danny Dimes is okay. That's not horrible. Would I try and upgrade him to T-Law? Absolutely. Would I trade J.K. Dobbins to upgrade Danny Dimes into a Fields or T-Law? You bet your bottom dollar. A Burrow? Absolutely. Do I trade a DJ Moore? Probably not. James Conner? Yes. Throw James Conner in. I give up James Conner, J.K. Dobbins, and Daniel Jones for Fields. I would do that trade and I'd offer that right now. Offer it for Burrow, offer it for Fields, offer 2 of them for T. Law and see what happens. But you get a T. Law in there instead of Daniel Jones, and you're off to the races. I love the team, love the squad, love Jordan Love Pollard and Chubb, actually, with Kelsey. And your wide receivers, look, it's crafty. It's crafty. I don't know who your wide receiver 2 and 3 are pretty light, but we're going to help you with that. And if you focus all year, Giovanni, at getting the next wide receiver breakout, that's what's going to be the difference maker for you. So if you can somehow get your hands on the Tank Dell that might still be out there, maybe he's not, I doubt he is in this league, but if he gets dropped, stay on the waiver wire. You have one mission and one goal, Giovanni, and that is to land that wide receiver that nobody else gets that helps you win this league. You do that and you're on your way. That is maybe a required component for this team to smash, but you certainly have the makings to still be a top 4 competitive team that could maybe crawl to the finish with all the other 4 teams involved. But you get the difference maker on the waiver wire. You watch my waiver wire show. We help you land that wide receiver or the running back that you could trade for the wide receiver. Don't think of it as a one-dimensional thing on waiver wire Sundays, bro. You get let the McKinnon of last year and then get to flip him for a wide receiver. Championship. $5 hauler from D3, 10-team PPR first pick, Lamar, Deshaun, J.J. Wilson, Odell, DJ Moore, Mingo, Bijan, Etienne, Swift, Kamara. That's a phenomenal running back stable. Quarterback obviously is solid. Deshaun Watson, obviously a solid potential piece to trade, given that I don't see Superflex anywhere in here. So I am trading Deshaun Watson if I can, and I don't know that you can. Who wants him? JJ, Garrett Wilson, DJ Moore, Bijan, Etienne, Swift. You don't need me. And you don't even need to make a trade unless it's to upgrade Lamar into a Fields. Unless you like Lamar more, trust your gut. A Burrow. Unless you like Lamar more, trust your gut. But the only pieces I want to move for that would be like Swift or Kamara. And honestly, I kind of just like it the way it is. This is another team. Maybe you trade Lamar on a hot week 1 or week 2, and let's say Fields starts off slow, or Hurts starts off slow, or Mahomes. You know what I mean? Like, there's opportunity for you to just wait because your team's very deep, and deep teams will do well. Deep teams are the way to go in 2023 if you can pull it off in an effective fashion. $10 hauler from Matt.
To the moon.
Appreciate my boy Matt dropping the super chat right here. Matty boy. Matt says, Smitty, 12 team, full PPR, 1 QB, 3 wide receiver, 2 running back, 1 flex, 1 tight end. Geno Smith, Diggs. Geno's, he's so disrespected by me and everybody, isn't he? We just roll our eyes at Geno being in the lineup, but he produced last year. He didn't write back. I get it. Diggs, DK, Watson, Christian Watson, very good wide receiver room. Pitts, there's risk and there's upside. So, they're both equal. It's just one of those scales where it's not like the upside's weighing down the scale or the risk is. They're both, it's risky. P. Ryan, Gainwell, Cook, Hodgins, improvements, thinking Geno plus Pitts for Fields and Freiermuth. I think you're getting a little greedy there. I think if you add in Freiermuth, he says no. I think if you give him Pitts and Geno for Fields, he maybe takes it, and then you go quietly to the waiver wire and you consolidate it a little bit. You get the best tight end options and come away that way. I think you add in Freiermuth and it just sends him down a path of no. And I don't think I like that. I think you might have a shot for him accepting it, but once you start getting him thinking about the difference between, it's psychology, bro. This is psychology and fantasy football we talk about on this channel all the time. And Freiermuth is close to Kyle Pitts. If you put them comparably by each other, he'll go through the mental process of saying, well, I don't think I like this because I think Freiermuth could hang with Pitts. Now all of a sudden he doesn't want Pitts at all. And so you go, okay, well, what about Geno and Pitts for just Fields? No, I like Freiermuth. I just told you. I think he could be close. You're putting yourself in a negative position to win this trade by getting greedy with it. And I do like that. Do I like moving another player? I do. If Kyle Pitts won't get it done, then you could potentially move a Swift or a Kamara. Oh, you got Kincaid too. I just saw that. I don't know why I didn't see the Kincaid piece. You got Kincaid. So yeah, that's definitely, I don't even need Freiermuth. I don't even want Freiermuth. I don't know that he does it though, because I like Freiermuth, but I mean in this trade, I don't want Freiermuth because you got Kincaid. Go pick up another tight end. Maybe even Taysom Hill. Juwan Johnson's really, really good to pick up for New Orleans. I definitely don't know that he's going to do that. And you got Kmet. We got to see how Kmet's injury is and everything. So I didn't see the Kmet or the Kincaid. Sorry. Kmet's, we'll see how healthy Kmet's going to be. Kirkwood dropping a $20 hauler. My boy Kirkwood, I'm going to go find your super chat. It's not attached. We got Ian right there with the $10 hauler. I'm going to put that in the corner here. Ian, appreciate you. We got Chase with the $5 hauler. I'm going to put you in the corner. Kirkwood dropping a $10. And he says did something up in a 10-man. Kirkwood, is this the only, I think this is maybe the only other super chat. So I'm going to give you your $20 hauler in a second. Kirkwood, appreciate you dropping your super chat. That's a big fish, Kirkwood. We're going to expand that graphic and take a look at how big that fish is that you caught. Cody dropping a $5 hauler. Kirkwood again dropping another $5 hauler. Brett dropping a $5 hauler. Logan Miller dropping a $5 hauler. My boy Logan, appreciate you, Logan boy, coming in here like an absolute monster. Logan's my pal. He's always in here. Appreciate you, Logan. All your support, Logan. $10 hauler from JNH, and then a $20 hauler from Alonzo. Wow, Alonzo, you're up next with the $20 hauler. Kirkwood is the first $20 hauler, so Kirkwood is getting a special little celebration. Kirkwood, let's go.
Alert. Super chat alert.
There's that screen again. It's going to happen all show. Kirkwood, $20 hauler, Kirkwood. What are we doing here? Thank you again for that $20 hauler. Here's his question. I effed something up 10-team, 1 PPR Fields, Jamal Williams or Javonte? Probably Javonte. Javonte Williams, Kenneth Walker, Calvin Ridley, Cridley. I like that. Cridley, Garrett Wilson, Dalton Kincaid, Dotson, Gibbs, Tank Dell, B-Rob, Tank Dell again, Quentin Johnson, George Pickens. Offer Quentin Johnson or Dotson for JSN. I don't think that's effed up. What'd you F up on? You got Fields, you got Javonte, you got Kenneth Walker, you got Cridley, you got Garrett Wilson. You got a great team, bro. You got Gibbs. You didn't F up on anything. You got Pickens. You got a lot of trade options. And yeah, I mean, Quentin Johnson for JSN in a heartbeat. I'd rather you do that. I'd give up B-Rob. I'd give up, Quentin Johnson and B-Rob. I'd give up those guys in a heartbeat for JSN. And JSN's injured, so he might do it. Would I trade Dotson for him? No. I wouldn't trade Dotson for him, but I would trade Quentin Johnson and B-Rob in a millisecond. But I don't know what you messed up. Your team looks really good. Total points league: Mahomes, Gibbs, B. Hall, Garrett Wilson, Amon-Ra, Kincaid, Pierce, Pickens, Jamal Williams probably. At that point, I would imagine if it's Javonte, that's fire. Swift, Dotson, JSN, Charbonnet. Really, really good team. And this team, I don't know that you move anything other than maybe try and upgrade Pierce using, if that is Jamal, I don't know that you're getting anything for him. If it's Javonte, I mean, Pierce and Pickens, Javonte and Pickens, like you could go get a big-time third-round player potentially. I do that. I like Walker. You got Charbonnet. My whole goal would be to get Walker, just go to the Charbonnet owner and just either force Charbonnet upon them to give you an upgrade. Let's say you upgrade, I don't know, Pierce into, let's say they've got you don't even necessarily need an RB, right? Because you got Gibbs and B. Hall, and you still have Swift and a bunch of others. You could turn Pierce and Charbonnet into a wide receiver like Debo. I would do that if, let's say, that owner of Kenneth Walker didn't want to trade Kenneth Walker, then you go get Debo, you go get somebody across position. And if they have a desire to trade Walker because you sniped them, then Pierce for Walker, and you throw in something like Pickens. I don't really mind it. It's not the my favorite move because I love Pickens. I don't know that I want to throw Dotson in. I guess I prefer, if you have JSN in the other league, then it's okay to trade him in this league maybe. You go JSN, Charbonnet, Pierce for Walker potentially, and that way you get the Charbonnet Walker stack. I love that at the end of the day if you get JSN in the other league. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's fun to do that. You got him in one league, you can afford to trade him. 9-man PPR, $20 hauler. Let's go.
Alert. Super chat alert.
That damn screen. There's just a couple things about this live stream that are driving me nuts. Malik Willis getting cut's one of them. I was trying to digest all the cuts and stuff too before I went live. Another thing too is I tried to wait to go live to completely wait for the PUP thing. When a couple people said, "Smitty, where were you on the Jonathan Taylor news?" Sometimes I wait a little bit because there's so much that can happen. You know, like if initially when it was announced, it was like, okay, could this still go down? Could this be an early report that no trade gets done, and then the team that was in the mix that said no, we're done, goes in last second, or you know, the PUP. I wanted to make sure that was definitely heading in that direction. But yeah, Alonzo, thank you for the super chat. 9-man PPR eliminated defense for additional flex. Okay, Chubb, Barkley, Gibbs, Pierce, Watson, Pickens, McKinnon. Should I trade one of my running backs for a better wide receiver? I would. I mean, yeah, Chubb, Barkley, Gibbs, Pierce. I would try and trade Pierce and, you know, like Sky Moore or something, or go to the Pacheco owner and say, hey, I'll give you McKinnon and Pierce for, you know, they got Debo. Debo's a real fun player to trade low for right now, I think. Another player, Debo, because Debo could be your number one wide receiver. I feel confident with Debo, Watson, Pickens as your wide receivers. That would feel like you had a wide receiver one. Ridley is probably my other target for you. Ridley would be a fantastic. Pierce, and, you know, just go see what the Pacheco owner has. If he has Ridley, ironically, or Debo, then perfect. If he doesn't, maybe you still go to those owners and you try and trade Pierce for him. If you got to give up Sky Moore, who's a starter on the Chiefs offense, go to the Mahomes owner. Maybe he wants to stack. Maybe he's got one of those guys. That's where I would start. Appreciate your super chat. Thank you so much, my man. My main man. My main man, Alonzo. Problem bless. Dropping a 20 watt on screen. Problem is my man. Problem bless, ladies and gentlemen.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Problem bless says, Smitty, yesterday I made a trade wondering if I overpaid Pacheco plus Addison for JT. I mean, at this moment in time, would I rather have Pacheco and McKinnon than JT? Yeah, but if you were in a situation, let's say even right now, where you had a plethora of running backs and you were not necessarily going to use Pacheco, that could be a scenario where I don't like make you take a lap and almost, Smitty, approve it for you specifically, individual by individual basis, not blanket saying go get JT using Pacheco's or even Swift's. I'd rather have Pacheco and McKinnon. I'd rather have Swift over JT at this moment in time. But this could be a good move. You know, if it was Dynasty, I don't know if you say if it's Dynasty here, it's a 2 flex PPR, T-Law, Bijan, Pierce, St. Brown, Olave, Goddard, Ridley, Pickens, benches, Zay Flowers. I think maybe in your situation, I would have rather had Pacheco, given that you have a very, very good team. But then again, bro, I mean, honestly, your team, Pierce is in there. Your starting lineup is filled out very nicely. And then JT just kind of sits on the bench waiting. I don't hate it for you, Problem Bless. I think this is a move that your team can survive and it could potentially win the league for you. Whereas it doesn't necessarily lose the league for you. It could make it a little harder for you if you hit some problems with Pierce or, you know, any other players in your roster, like in your flex, and you needed to use Pacheco. Maybe Quentin Johnston's firing off on all cylinders. By that point, you got Bijan backed up. If he was to miss a game or two, Flowers is going to explode. Quentin Johnston, I trade probably. Maybe you can trade Quentin Johnston for Pacheco straight up in a week or two. And then at the end of the day, you traded Quentin Johnston for JT. And JT's still worth it. Like, if he got cut right now, let me make it very abundantly clear. If he got cut right now, I'd grab him in a millisecond, you know? But it doesn't mean that he was anywhere near worth even third-round value. That's where the problem lies, is where people paid, where they missed out on a Gibbs because they drafted this guy. That's the problem. That's the real problem, Wes, right there. Young dropping a super chat. I'm going to put these right here and go through them in order in which they were received. Thank you, Young. Appreciate you. Ruff, appreciate you. KH3, appreciate your $5 holler. You guys are absolutely awesome. K Woods with a follow-up. K Woods, his follow-up is right here. Damian didn't attach anything but dropped a $5 holler. Appreciate that. I'll go try and look for any other message you might have. A lot of people sometimes forget to attach the message, so I'll try and find it. It does make it take a little longer for me to go through and do all that, but I'm not that I care. I'm just letting you know to wait patiently if you could. K Woods, follow-up, 10-man Superflex, pick 6. Joe Burrow, Olave, Ridley, Bijan, Walker, and Njoku, Geno Swift, Zach Herbert. Oh, here's some Jonathan Taylor news. Hold on. Running back Jonathan Taylor wasn't traded, which means the saga isn't close to over. That's just more Ian Rappaport talking about the same old, same old. This was a super flex. What should I target or trade? So this was a super flex. Okay. So you've got Joe Burrow and Geno. You've got Swift. You've got Ridley, Bijan, Walker, Olave. I don't know that I'm moving anybody, bro. Maybe Scary Terry. Maybe Hollywood Brown, if that's Hollywood Brown. I don't know if that's Chase Brown or Hollywood Brown. Zach Charbonnet, I believe that's who that is. You're doing a lot of nicknames here. Khalil Herbert. You probably need to wait. Khalil Herbert and Geno might get you a T-Law after week 1 if Geno explodes and T-Law struggles. So this is a team. Scary Terry's injured. How low can you sell him? Hollywood Brown, no one's really buying him yet. Swift, no one's risking the biscuit for Swift yet. You've got a team here that I do think you trade to upgrade Geno, but you wait for the bench players, Herbert, Terry to get healthy, Hollywood to do something, and Swift to explode before you're able to do anything. Otherwise, you're selling low. So K Woods, stand down, but very, very good squad in general. All right, I got all the super chats on screen so far. If you got any more, drop them, and I'll put them in order in which they're received. Appreciate you all coming in here. Hurts and Burrow and your super flex from the 9 spot. Enlow, that's crazy, bro. Chubb at wide receiver at pick 10, or wide receiver at pick 10. I probably go wide receiver Moon. Appreciate you guys. I'm out on Pickens. No offense, says Gary. What are you talking about? Pickens has a great offense, bro. Great offense. And let me take this call from Keith real quick. And I'm not taking phone calls right now. Keith, I'm not taking phone calls right now, but I'll help you real quick. You got 20 seconds, bro.
Hey, yes, sir. I should have listened to you. I half listened to you. I want you to tell me what you think I got running back wise. Did real good receivers, but I want you to tell you what PPR running back I messed up on Jonathan Taylor, but I did get Brees. I've got Cam Akers, and I've got Madison rounding out the bottom. What's your thought on moving forward on what I need to do with them guys? What's your thought?
Yeah, I'm not huge on Cam. I'm not huge on Madison. And I definitely was not huge on JT. So, like, those, you didn't listen to me on a few of those. But that's okay, bro. You got to trust your gut, too. I'm not right on everything. I thought Malik Cunningham wasn't getting cut. Like, I'm going to miss some shit, you know? But
yes, sir.
But, you know, I don't know. I don't know that you can trade those guys right now. I think you maybe you can trade Madison. Who are your wide receivers?
Diggs, Chase, Ayuk. It's a 2 flex, 2 receiver, 2 running back. Diggs, Chase, Ayuk, and Waddle.
Diggs, Chase, Ayuk, and Waddle. I kind of like the idea of selling Ayuk high. Diggs, Chase, and Waddle's fantastic. Your wide receivers are good enough, bro.
Okay. My plan is to listen to you, work the waiver wire, and see what I can do if anybody wants to oversell me for any of those. But,
yeah,
man, you hit the nail on the head, brother. I should have paid attention on that. It was like the last one left at the club before it shuts down. I couldn't tell JT no, and look where I'm at.
I know. The last person at the club shut down. The lights came on, and you were like, oh, JT, what's going on here? Oh, my good Lord.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, but, hey, that's right. Try and trade Akers maybe. Maybe you could go to some ambulance chaser and say, hey, here's JT and Akers for your walker. Like it could happen.
Yes, sir.
I mean, try it. Try it.
I'm going to do it right now.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, Smitty.
All right. Thanks for the support, says Rick. Rick, thank you. Rick, thank you for the super chat. Rick just dropping a $10 hauler just to be an absolute monster. Appreciate you, Rick.
To the moon.
Thank you, Rick. Okay, $10 hauler from J and H. Smitty, just finished my 12-team PPR 3-keeper draft. Herbert, Bijan, Tyreek, Diggs, Goddard, Pollard, London, Hollywood, Pickens, Dotson, JSN, Charbonnet, Sky. Trades pre-draft. I killed it or what? Yeah, I mean, Pollard. Like, you got Bijan, you got Pollard. You got Tyreek, you got Diggs. This is a 12-man 3-keeper. This is crazy. Obviously, the keeper part's helping you build this team because you shouldn't have it. I don't even know what to tell you to do. You can't upgrade your RBs, really, in my opinion, because I love Pollard. I'm not trading him. Tyreek, Diggs, that's solid, bro. Solid. I mean, what are you going to do? Get Garrett Wilson, instead of Diggs? That's preference. It's not a must. Would I throw in a freaking Sky Moore or Hollywood Brown to get that done? Sure, but past that, you don't need to make any moves. You're just ready to dominate, JNH. Smitty approved team.
You've just been
Smitty approved team and a stand down order on any trades. We need to create a stand down order. Animation for anybody that's looking to do something, and I just need to tell you to stand down. Stand down order. Don't trade. Don't do anything. Hold off, okay? Logan, another Logan super chat. Fields, Barkley, Damian Pierce, Kupp, Metcalf, Ferguson, Moore, Deontay, benches Geno Smith, McKinnon, Kamara. Love the Dobbs, the Flowers, the Dobbs, the Kamara, and McKinnon bench that you've got going on here, bro. You've got so much trade potential. And while I like your team, there are definitely some concerns in terms of, like, I don't know that I love Kupp as much as everybody else. So if you could use potentially a Dobbs to get Kupp into a Garrett Wilson, I know some people are going to say that's crazy, but I want Garrett Wilson, not Cooper Kupp. I would make that trade. If I could turn Barkley, into a Bijan using Deontay Johnson, and, I don't think you're going to get that done. But obviously I'd try. Damian Pierce, turn him into a Walker, and Charbonnet using Deontay and using potentially a Dobbs. I'd do that. Dobbs, Flowers, Kamara, McKinnon are solid trade pieces. Deontay Johnson, I don't love. I'm trading him away. I love that you've got DJ Moore. I just saw that. Like, I think I read it, but I didn't comprehend that that's DJ Moore. Is that Elijah Moore? That might be Elijah Moore. That can't be DJ Moore. That's got to be Elijah Moore. That's probably Elijah Moore. Although you have Fields, could be DJ. If it's DJ, bro, you're absolutely insane. You got an amazing team. Metcalf upgrade using Deontay. Maybe slight upgrade. Metcalf into a St. Brownish player. That would be good, Logan. I would say that would be a smooth move, in my opinion. Steve with a super chat. Steve, I got you queued up right here. Hang tight. This is a super chat. Thank you for the super chat, my man. $5 hauler, 10-man, 1 PPR. Mahomes, St. Brown, Ridley, Gibbs, Rashad White, Kelsey, London, and Swift, and Christian Watson on the bench. Thoughts? I love it. I'm trading Rashad White if I can. I don't know what you'll get necessarily, and I don't know that I'm all that bothered by the situation because you've got Swift and Watson. I mean, you've got Gibbs, you've got St. Brown, Ridley, Mahomes, Kelsey, such an amazing team. But would I rather have, instead of Rashad White, would I give up Swift and Rashad White? Would I give up Christian Watson and Rashad White to get that Walker or Breece Hall? I personally would. I guess I wouldn't give up Christian Watson and Rashad White for Breece Hall because I feel like Watson's ADPs may be higher than Breece Hall's. You could do a 1-for-1, but I don't know that they'll value that. So you could do a Rashad White-Swift combo for Breece Hall. Maybe go to a team that has very weak running back stables and see what you can do with Rachaad White. You know, I wouldn't be opposed to even getting Rachaad White out of the lineup, putting in Swift, and trading Rachaad White with, let's say, I don't know, London to get a like another Ridley type of player. That's probably what I would look. Or London and Rachaad White, put Swift in your lineup. London and Rachaad White for, I mean, I don't think you're getting a Garrett Wilson, but just keep reaching for every player right there. Debo is another great option for you using Rachaad White. Use Rachaad White, try and get Debo. I don't know if you got another bench player that makes sense to add with Rachaad White to get Debo Samuel, but maybe the Debo Samuel owner is freaking out about his running backs. Debo is such a good buy low in fantasy right now. Jimmy the Drunk, appreciate you. Got your super chat here. Bobby Boy, I got your super chat right here, Bobby Boy. Thank you very much, my guy. Bobby Boy. ZK, I got your super chat here. Town 27, I got your super chat here. Will Smith Senior, I got your super chat here. Cody with a super chat. Cody says, 12-man PPR Fields, Henry, Swift, Adams, Judy, London, Flowers, Dell, Gibbs, McKinnon, tight end, Juwan Johnson. Feel unsure about my team. Should I be? Henry, Swift, Gibbs. Love it. Adams, not a fan, but it's, you know, it is what it is. Adams, London, it's a good wide receiver room, but can you trade Adams for Ridley and something? Can you trade Adams straight up for I'd trade him straight up for Ridley, to be honest with you. I'd rather have Ridley than Adams. I would try and make that trade. That would be the first trade I'd try and make. Past that, bro, you're good. It's a good team. It's a really good team, man. I don't know why you'd be down on it. I mean, would I rather have Pollard over Henry? I would. I'd try and make that move. Go to the Pacheco owner. Either go get Pacheco using some other bench piece, maybe, not these players. Judy. Trade Judy for Pacheco and something. Trade Judy and Henry for Pollard. Trade Judy and maybe Adams and Judy to a wide receiver. Like if a team is kind of weak at wide receiver, you trade Adams and Judy and you get a St. Brown or something, bro. I'd trade Judy for Debo straight up. Those are all amazing moves. And you're wearing a Debo, probably a Debo jersey right there with your 49er hat. Go get Debo using Judy. Okay, Smitty approved that. You're not making a fandom pick here. I'm with you on it. Go get Debo Samuel. I think you can get it done. Kirkwood says he effed up. He didn't. Kirkwood did great. Chase Kimball. Let's see here. T-Law, Barkley, Javonte, Cooper, Diggs, Olave, London, Tony, Mingo, Hyatt, Miles Sanders, Bigsby, P. Ryan. Where do I improve? Amari Cooper, I'm probably trading. I love Diggs, Olave, Javonte, Barkley, T-Law. Very, very into that combination. I like London a lot. Miles Sanders and Amari Cooper for Kenneth Walker. Miles Sanders and Amari Cooper for Breece Hall. Miles Sanders and Amari Cooper for Calvin Ridley. Miles Sanders and Amari Cooper for St. Brown. Reach for the stars, young man. Don't let anybody tell you can't get that done. I've seen people do worse than that. You know, better trades than that, shall I say. T-Law and Miles Sanders for Fields. T-Law and T-Law and Amari Cooper for Fields or Burrow or Hurts or Mahomes or Josh Allen. You know what I'm saying, Chase? Do it live, bro. Those are all very, very good moves for you because you are a man, a myth, a legend. First channel I subscribe to, but I'm an old and dumb and chill. Not a huge W for you. Keep up the content, bro. P-Dub, I love you, pal. I don't know what you're talking about. You're too hard on yourself. You are the man. P-Dub to the moon.
To the moon.
What are you talking about, P-Dub? You are my people, P-Dub. P-Dub is Smitty. Smitty is P-Dub. That's the way we roll, bro. Logan dropping another super chat. Appreciate you. I've got here this question here. Do you like Ayuk at all this year, Smitty? I'm trying to answer some random ones too in the chat. I don't want you guys to think I ignore the chat. I do. He looks very, very, what's the best word? Crispy. His routes are crispy. He's very fast, but I don't know. I'm not sure. I do like Ayuk. 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns. I think that's very doable. That's a good wide receiver season. This right here, $10 hauler from Ivan.
To the moon.
Ivan's my man. My main man. Ivan. Aye, Smitty. Should I trade Javonte and Sky for Debo?
You've just been Smitty.
Absolutely. I like that trade a lot. Debo is a guy I'm buying right now. Right here, right now. Right here, right now. Right here, right now. 12-team PPR, $10 hauler from Logan.
To the moon.
Logan to the moon. Let's go, Logan. Logan, 12-team PPR, T-Law, Bijan, Gibbs, Garrett Wilson, DK, Watson, Kincaid, Javonte. Very, very solid squad, bro. Let me review it here in 1 second. I do have to do one quick minor little housekeeping thing. Okay, there we go. Sorry. I had to make sure my computer was slowing down a little bit. I think I had to empty my trash because I had about 500 gigs of video. And if I didn't do that, the live stream might have crashed. $10 hauler. Thank you again. T-Law, Bijan, Gibbs, Garrett Wilson, DK Watson, Kincaid, Javonte, Monty, Charbonnet, Flowers, Laporta. I have Tank Dell on the wire. Drop Laporta for him. Yeah, I guess. But they're both very good. I love Laporta. He's the second favorite option of Goff right now. So is there risk to dropping him? Yeah, but look at you're in. This kind of league. You also only have Kincaid, though. You're probably more likely to maybe need Laporta potentially. So, I don't know. What does the chat think? Keep Laporta or get Tank Dell? The only thing is I think Tank Dell is going to have a really good year. And I think Laporta could be spotty. And that's natural for a rookie tight end. I think Tank Dell could be the guy that gets you some kind of big trade, or you just use him. I like the team a lot. T-Law, both rookie running backs, Garrett Wilson, DK Watson. There's nothing to even move here other than trade Monty and Flowers once Flowers gets cooking, bro. You trade Monty and Flowers for somebody. You trade Monty and DK for a slight wide receiver upgrade. You maybe get a struggling St. Brown out of week 1 or week 2 by trading Monty and DK, but this is a team, Logan, that you probably wait to make moves on because you need these guys to gain value. A lot of you are drafting teams that are Smitty built, and Smitty built teams are a lot of times upside driven. Smitty built teams are oftentimes going to get the lowest ranking coming out of the draft by the draft platform. They're going to say this is a D, this is an F grade, this is a C at best. You're not top 6. You're always going to get that when you follow the Smitty built way, because we're about Gibbs, we're about Javontes, we're about Breece Halls, we're about unknown commodities where sometimes people just don't like risking it, in the right way like we do. We don't like risking it when there are multiple red flags, but we'll certainly put our balls on the table, get a wheelbarrow, and wheelbarrow them all around and wheelbarrow at our draft. I might invent that as a potential thing that you can buy on the show, a wheelbarrow. That you could go into your draft. You can have your draft kits and your binders and everything on a wheelbarrow, and then you literally just wheelbarrow your cojones right into the draft, and you just sit down in front of everybody, and you draft away, and you've got this wheelbarrow mechanism desk that's right in front of you, and you just show everybody that you mean business, because that's the way we draft. And honestly, I don't even understand how draft platforms don't see guys like Ridley and Gibbs and Bijan coming to the tune of their projections. It doesn't really make much sense. And even on Underdog, my boys at Underdog, I love them. But when they've got these higher lows of like 800 yards for Dotson, these higher lows that are like Pickens 800 yards, I don't even understand it. It's like free. It's a free higher low contest. Debo does alternate years, smash years. Yeah, that's a great point, and this feels like a smash year. He's looking slim down, quick, fast, agile. They're throwing it to him. Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty, guys. We'll be drafting tonight, by the way. So make sure you hit this link right now in the live chat. Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. I don't know if we have any giveaway gifted memberships right now. I've got to check. We were so behind yesterday. I didn't even think to check on that. But let me see if I can pull up the Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty graphic here. So guys, we'll be drafting tonight. Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. Hit that up. And they'll match up to $100 in your first deposit. Just hit the link that I dropped in the live chat. I'm going to pin it right now in the live chat as we speak. Pinning the link right this very second. Well, I want to pin. Why won't you pin? I'll try and pin it in a second. But here's the code. Thank you, Logan. Appreciate you. Here's the code. Underdog Fantasy will be drafting tonight. Appreciate every single one of you. And as far as YouTube exclusive memberships, I don't think anybody's dropping any, which isn't a problem. I'm just making sure I'm fully aware of what's going on. B, appreciate your super chat here. Phone lines should open in a little bit. Let's get through these super chats and then we'll take care of it. Wild Bill, $10 hauler, 12-man league. 12-man league. Wild Bill, appreciate you, Wild Bill. Wild Bill's team so far, 12-man redraft: Fields, Bijan, Gibbs, Wilson, Dotson, Khalil Herbert, Goddard, Pickens, Charbonnet. Obviously, I'm going to tell you to go get Walker. If you don't have him, you don't. You have Gibbs and Bijan, Wilson. Just unbelievable team. But, yeah, I mean, go trade Charbonnet and hold him over that owner's head, or go get Walker. And the player you probably trade away, maybe you can't do it. Dotson and Khalil Herbert for Walker, I don't know that you can get that done. Pickens and Khalil Herbert, Dotson and Pickens for Walker, I don't know if you can get that done. Quite frankly, I would be very tempted to give him, overpay him with those combinations. I don't know if I'd give all three, but I'd be tempted to get Walker in there just to add it to your arsenal. But I think Pickens and Dotson are just going to gain so much value with Herbert. I would wait, Wild Bill, and strike. If Walker has even a very, let's say he has a 60-yard, no touchdown, 2 catch for 12 yards week 1, I think you'll be able to trade. If you're patient, you'll be able to trade for Walker on the cheap. Fields, Gibbs, Garrett Wilson, JSN, Tank Dell, Kendre Miller, A-Chain, Anthony Richardson, Dulcich, Dynasty, Superflex. What should I do? Fields and Anthony Richardson are very good in Dynasty, Superflex. Bijan and Gibbs are great. Garrett Wilson, JSN, nothing. That team's fantastic. Don't make a single move. I like every player you have. Therefore, you're not really trading any of them. First rounders, trade first rounders to go get talent. Ridley, Ridley's going to play 2 or 3 years. Give me Ridley with a first round pick and go win a championship. Go give me Walker or Hall using multiple first rounders to add to that team, championship. Go give me St. Brown using multiple first rounders. Go give me players like Olave, multiple first rounders. Those are the moves to make if you've got a team that I don't want to touch, but I do want to still trade. That's what I would do. $10 hauler from Damien.
To the moon.
Damien, my guy, dropping a $10 wad on screen. 10-team PPR, 2 flex, T-Law, Saquon, Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, McLaurin, Kincaid, ETN. Love it, man. Kenneth Walker. Those are all in your lineup. That's phenomenal. Benches, Daniel Jones, Madison, Swift, Bigsby. Only thing I'd do is get McLaurin and Madison together for one player. Swift, I like a lot, actually. I'd probably, if you can put Swift in that McLaurin spot. McLaurin's got turf toe. ETN, love ETN. Walker, God, you got a good team. I don't think you have Charbonnet. That's a misstep. But, bro, you got a squad here. Maybe you're trading Madison and McLaurin and T-Law for Fields, Damien. upgrade to Burrow, Fields, or higher using Madison and T-Law and even Swift if need be. JSN on the bench, no moves to make really other than those crazy like little upgrades you could do. And definitely feel like I would attack the potential quarterback move most, because if you get a Fields in there, it's nearly game over. You know, your team would be unstoppable if you get that quarterback upgrade. Not saying I don't love T-Law. Not saying I don't love T-Law at all. T-Law is a gem, an absolute piece of glory. You know, the Law Dog Milk is literally carrying us this year.
Law Dog Milk for mains on sale this season. Soak your mane and win a league. Law Dog Milk.
I'm still in shock that Malik Cunningham was released. What does JT PUP do for Pittman? Should help, right? Not really, Garrett. You know, thank you for the super chat. Not really. I think not moving the offense down the field, not being a very electric offense is not good. You know. $5 hauler, 12-man PPR, T-Law, Olave, London, Bijan, Gibbs. Love the running backs. Love Dotson. Love Swift. Benches of Conquo, JSN. I love when I see JSN on a lot of your benches, guys. Charbonnet. Obviously, my first thing I'm going to tell you, you have Charbonnet, go get Walker. Love it. Love that combination. Jordan Love, absolutely amazing. Thank you for helping me smash. You smashed it, bro. That's for sure. 12-team quarterback upgrade into Fields. That's what I'm looking to use some of these bench guys for, like JSN potentially. But I don't know that you're going to get what you want out of JSN right now. But I kind of like the idea of trading Dotson and Law for a Fields or, you know, Burrow or something. I do love T-Law. I do love Dotson. I just think your team getting that big top, you know, potential 1 overall quarterback in a Fields or a Hurts or a Mahomes or a Josh Allen just sets you apart in a way that it's worth giving up Swift or Dotson for. And especially with JSN likely to come in. But if you can't get that done or don't want to do that, then I am trading away Swift and, let's say, Dotson together for Kenneth Walker. Or you just stand down and let it ride, because what if Swift is amazing value? I mean, we've got him on the Moonman list. We do like him. You know, there's a world where he actually wins leagues. So, you know, your team is so stacked. I don't think you're hurt at all by just waiting. You're a perfect candidate to wait and kind of, you know, take it easy. 426 people in here. If we get so we're gonna give away one thefantasyfootballshow.com membership, because we hit 200 thumbs up on the live stream. If we get another 48 thumbs up and hit 300, we'll give another one away. And how do we do that? You go to my Instagram, you find the Calvin Ridley post, which I believe is one post back. Like if you go to my grid on my profile, you'll see like the second one I think is the Calvin Ridley catch. Put a couple fire emojis, tag some buddies. I will be choosing 6 people based on last night's live stream and tonight's live stream. 6 people so far. It'll be 7 if we get to 300 likes, that I'll be giving free the Fantasy Football Show content memberships, the $35 package, away. So hit that thumb up button. We just need roughly 40 more now, and we'll be doing that live, giving those away. All right, I'll show it on my Instagram stories when I pick the winners. So thank you guys very much for all your support. You guys are absolutely amazing. This channel would not be here without you. Ben, $5 super chat. I have the last pick in a 12-team league, half PPR. I'm thinking Pollard plus Garrett Wilson. Is there anyone that could slide to me? Who should I take instead? I think those are perfect. I think Garrett Wilson and St. Brown, which is called the double-decker.
The double-decker, pronounced double-decker in academic circles, is drafting both Amon St. Brown and Garrett Wilson back-to-back in rounds 1 and 2. The double-decker.
Whether you go double-decker or whether you abort that and go Pollard and one of those guys, those are probably the favorite approaches, I think, from that 10, 11, 12 spot for a lot of us here on the channel. So that's what I would deploy. Thomas says, what about peeps that don't have IG? Thomas, I would probably recommend getting it because there's a lot of content on IG that's different than this that you're going to miss out on. But that's this giveaway. We'll do other giveaways. Don't worry. Appreciate you, Ben, my guy. Jedi dropping the $2. I'm Jedi. Herbie Charbonnet Burks for Judy McKinnon. I mean, Judy McKinnon, if you don't have Walker, Judy McKinnon is probably slightly better, but then I do flip Judy if I'm on that side of it. Zachary with a $10 hauler super chat. Appreciate you, Zachary. 400 of you in the building. Please hit that thumb up button. Appreciate you being here. JT is out. This team is my Dynasty PPR Superflex reset next year. Only 2 keepers. QB, Patty Mahomes, and Fields. Excellent. Ritter, Bijan, Gibbs, Hall, JT. Wide receivers, Olave, Quentin Johnston, Deontay Johnson. I don't like Deontay. I don't like Quentin too much. Addison, I'd probably trade. Like, man, I would have just, with those running backs, Gibbs, Hall, Bijan, I guess if you could start all of them, JT would have been a guy I would have been selling off of that potential trade news.
Motion detected at the front door.
Ziggy, show me the front door. The fact that you could have maybe got like a Olave or something like that, man, that's tough. Maybe in Dynasty you can still sell them relatively high. Oh, mailman. Ziggy off. That would be something I would still try and do. I wouldn't sell them low, but in Dynasty somebody's probably ambulance chasing, bro. You know? So I probably would still entertain, moving him somehow, some way. There's still opportunity, but Flowers is going to gain some value really soon, so get ready for that. You're going to have a lot of trade bait, but man, if you just added an Olave type, I know you got Olave, but like St. Brown type, or even like JT for Calvin Ridley in Dynasty, bro, Zachary, you might want to look at it. Like maybe you get more, maybe you get a first rounder out of that. I don't know what JT's value is going to be. JSN is back in practice. Says Melvin. If that's true, that's amazing news. I'm live, so I don't see that right here. But if that's true, that's amazing news. JSN is literally. We did a video. Go get him now. Go get Brees Hall. Go get JSN on the dip. Thank you, Melvin, for dropping the super chat, my man. Kirkwood dropping another $10 hauler. I'm going to put that right here. B with the $5 hauler, and Zach, JT is out. This is my, I already did that one. Thank you, Zach. Appreciate your $10 hauler. $5 hauler. Fields, Bijan, Gibbs, Garrett Wilson, JSN, Tank Dell. He's got some good JSN news if that's accurate. Thank you, Melvin. If that's true, that's amazing. Anthony Richardson, Dynasty Superflex. That's great. That's great. That's a great team. I might have even already reviewed this question. Not much you can do. You got to let it ride. I'm not trading any of those guys, and you got no one that you can really trade. So you just let it go. Unless you're going to downgrade Anthony Richardson into Jordan Love and get something like somebody gives you a Dotson or a Christian Watson for that, I would consider that. Heating Up Podcast just traded Akers and Deontay for DK. Absolute smash. Got him moment there.
Got him.
Great job, bro. Absolute phenomenal work. Heating Up. Appreciate you. This is another one from Kirkwood. I think I put that on screen. Kirkwood, thank you. This one here from Ryan. 16-man, 0.5. Have the 4th pick. Does Kelsey strategy still work? It does, but it starts to get thin. But it's in some ways it's even better if you land your players. If like Walker falls, if Gibbs was to fall to you at the right place, and you could take Gibbs in round 2 in a 16-man, obviously. Depending on your pick, of course. But the 4th pick, I would take Gibbs in the 2nd round with the 4th draft selection in a 16-teamer. So Kelsey, Gibbs, and then you start, picking off the players. But I'd rather have Bijan. Yeah, I'd rather have Bijan. 4th pick, Kelsey strategy. If it's super flex, though, I don't know if you said it here. I don't think you did. If it's super flex, you got to go quarterback. But Kelsey in a 16-man, that's fine. That's fine. That smashes. You just got to. I mean, you got to land your picks. It's not like easy. Everything requires a certain level of skill from that perspective. If you're not good at drafting tight end early in your draft, it's easier to do this year without having any experience of smashing it. But in a 16-teamer, it could introduce some more of the risk we're normally seeing from Kelsey round 1 draft strategies that aren't present in 12-team Kelsey draft strategies this year, that get reintroduced because of the shortage of running backs and wide receivers in a 16-teamer. It does open the door to seeing some of the same pitfalls you would have in previous years if you don't land those picks. I have the 3 spot in a Superflex draft Thursday. Has your strategy changed for drafting Superflex? Absolutely not. You take a quarterback, then you go back to running back, wide receiver, or tight end. I preferably want running back, wide receiver combinations in round 2 and 3. And Jordan Love, Aaron Rodgers, round 4 wins you the league. Absolutely best player available. But Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love in round 4, those are your targets, okay? Ace with the super chat, $10 hauler. Appreciate you, Ace, my guy.
To the moon.
Ace to the moon. Ace, you're my boy Blue. QB's Herbert, Tua, okay. PPR Superflex. Herbert, Tua, Purdy. I actually like that. That's pretty good. I don't know that I need Lance, but I like the Herbs, Tua, Purdy. And Gibbs, Etienne, Jacobs, Walker, Charbonnet. At the start of the live stream, I would have told you to go get Cunningham. But not now. I mean, maybe that changes. Where does he go? Where's Cunningham go? Where's Cunningham go? What's Bill thinking? Frankie says I missed his super chat. Frankie, I might not have, bro. It's probably in here somewhere. Let me see, Frankie. Frankie probably just dropped it. Let's see here. Frankie, I think it's on screen here. I'll drop it on here, but I think it's in this pile here. Okay. Abanto celebrating 2 months membership. Miss Frankie super chat. I didn't miss Frankie super chat. It's literally on screen. But thank you for using your exclusive membership to tell him to tell me about it. Thank you. Appreciate you. Okay, so I'm getting to it, Frankie. Hang tight. Here's my lineup: PPR, QBs, Herbs, Tua, Purdy, Lance, running backs: Gibbs, Etienne, Jacobs, Walker, trade Jacobs. Wide receivers: Olave, Waddle, T. Higgins. Jacobs and T. Higgins for one big monster. Do it live. Go try and get a potential Bijan. Swing for the moon, bro. Garrett Wilson. T. Higgins and Jacobs for Garrett Wilson. You can afford to make the move. You got Charbonnet, Andrews. That's the only move to make. Jacobs and T. Higgins for one player. You do that, it's home run time. And that one player could be the Tua upgrade. Tua upgraded to Fields. Give Jacobs. Oh, Schmitty, that's too much. Not in this case. This guy's stacked. T. Higgins and Tua. Give me Hurts. Those are the moves to make, Ace. You pull that off, and you're walking to the bank. Frankie, $10 hauler.
To the moon.
Appreciate you, Frankie. Okay, maybe I did miss it, Frankie. So we're on the screen here. I'm sorry about the delay. Hey, guys, if you could get Mahomes, Kelsey, Henry, Barkley, and Eckler, but all 3 wide receivers are trash, would you do it from the 12 spot? I don't think so, bro. I don't think you need to do that. The reason I say that is because like Walker and Hall or Gibbs, they could be better than Henry and Barkley and Eckler. Like Eckler, I like Eckler, Kelsey, I don't mind that. But Henry, Barkley, I'd almost rather have the wide receiver and Walker, the Pacheco, McKinnon, and Ridley that you can get and pull off because of the depth of running back and wide receiver. So I'm going to say negative on this. I'm going to say don't do the robust RB on top of tight end. One strategy I'll tell you to avoid, Frankie, is when you do go early quarterback or early tight end, don't couple that with another handcuffing you to a bad situation approach. Meaning if you go Kelsey early and then you go early quarterback and then you avoid wide receiver, you're putting yourself in a weird balance that will be hard to get out of. So you tend to want to use balance and best player available in a good way once you do go early Kelsey. I don't mind the Kelsey Mahomes, but then I start getting balance, bro. If you can make it work, but using best player available to guide you. Thank you for your super chat. Mart, Yo Smitty, 10-man PPR home league: Fields, Bijan, Brees, Olave, Devontae Smith, DJ Moore, Drake London, Fryermuth, James Cook, Pacheco. How'd I do? You smashed it, my guy. You absolutely smashed it. I don't even know what to tell you. Drake London and who? Who are you going to upgrade? I love Brees. I don't want Brees out of the lineup. Bijan, Fields, Olave. Love it, love it, love it. DJ Moore, Drake London for a St. Brown or Garrett Wilson if you dare. Pacheco and Drake for a maybe St. Brown, Garrett Wilson, like reach for the moon, I suppose. Devontae Smith and Pacheco for, I don't even know that I'd do that. I like Devontae Smith. He could be so sneaky top 5 to 7. DJ Moore and Pacheco maybe for Garrett Wilson type player, top 12 overall player is where I go, or I just wait it out, Mart. I wait it out and let that team come in hot, in week 1, 2, 3. And then we circle back, Mart, you and I, and we figure out a way to buy low on some players using your guys that are going to be, I believe, on the rise, and people will be knocking down your door. Ortiz dropping a 10 spot on screen. Ortiz, appreciate you. Rank my team 9 spot, 12 team, half PPR, redraft 6-point QB score. Fields, Walker, Gibbs, love it. J.K. Dobbins, I'm selling him. Charbonnet, you cuffed him. Amazing job. Tyreek Hill, Cooper Kupp, Dotson, Burks, Freiermuth, Okonkwo, Zeke, Jets D. Honestly, I mean, the only player I want to get rid of extremely badly, like as quick as possible, is J.K. Dobbins. Do I trade Cooper Kupp away for Garrett Wilson straight up, or St. Brown straight up? Maybe. Because I don't trust Cooper Kupp at 30 years old, coming off a injury. We're going to probably have a Cooper Kupp video. I might even kick off the Cooper Kupp, or the draft tonight with the Cooper Kupp, avoid video. He's 30 years old. Matthew Stafford looks cooked right now. He looks confused. He's unattached to his team. He's talking about all of his players, especially the wide receiver room, are on their cell phones not paying attention, and he can't connect with them. They call him sir and not hey buddy, and he says he doesn't feel connected to his teammates. There's a lot of concerns going on with Cooper Kupp we're going to talk about tonight. So give me Garrett Wilson. If I can make that trade, just standalone little conversation there. But as far as everything else, it's like Dobbins and Freiermuth for a bigger tight end upgrade maybe. J.K. Dobbins and, Cooper Kupp, J.K. for Chase or J.J. That would be where I would probably go first and foremost, bro. And then after that, it's J.K. Dobbins and Dotson for maybe a Brees Hall, if you dare. You know what I'm saying, broski? Heating Up Podcast, appreciate you dropping this one. Still trade Andrews. I have Wilson, DK, Gibbs, and Bijan. Trade Andrews. Heating, can you remind me what we're talking about? Because I don't know that was the same question you had just a minute ago. Just traded Akers and Deontay for DK. That's the only. I don't remember any Andrews conversation. Like you're giving me way too much credit to remember a previous conversation. Like I don't know what we're talking about, bro. Appreciate you though, and circle back and we'll hammer it through. Isaac, $5 hauler, 10 team non PPR. Burrow, Chase, Olave, Pollard, Kenneth Walker, Pierce, Monty, Okonkwo. Love it, bro. Dotson, Deontay. How about Deontay and Monty for a little, I don't know, Brees Hall action? How about Deontay and Monty for a little Calvin Ridley? How about Deontay and Monty for a little Debo? How about Pierce for Debo straight up? How about you go Monty and Pierce for Debo and something? How about you go after one of those Debo, Ridley, Brees Hall, ETN little maneuvers using that depth right there, Isaac. Appreciate your team. Love you, pal. You're always such a good supporter, and I can't thank you enough. Will Smith Sr., appreciate you. 10-man PPR, 1 QB, 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 1 tight end, 1 flex. Hurts, Mixon. Get rid of Mixon. Henry. I'm okay with Henry, but I don't draft him a lot. Wilson, Olave. Let's go. Wilson, Olave. Let's go, broskies. The 8 p.m. show just started right now. We're live. We're just going right into it. Hurts, Mixon, Olave, Wilson, Garrett Wilson, Olave, love it. Garrett Wilson, Olave, love it. London instead of Landon. Okay. So maybe you trade Mixon. And if I said trade Olave or Wilson, I didn't mean to. Or if I did say that, I meant love it. Smitty trying to get through all the super chats before opening up the phone line. Smitty is the man. Appreciate you. I'm trying my best. Bro. Peanut Butter and Jelly just became a member. Appreciate you. I think those are renewals coming in hot. I'm going to turn that off so it doesn't distract you, but appreciate everybody dropping memberships. We got a membership. A-Train, welcome to the YouTube exclusive memberships. A-Train just signed up for a YouTube exclusive membership. If anybody else wants to become a YouTube exclusive member, hit this. Oh, this is the Underdog Fantasy link, by the way. We're going to draft tonight, so hit that. And then if you want to become a YouTube exclusive member, hit this link, please. And Mason's correct. Mason says, come on, Smitty, remember the teams. Bro, I can't even remember everybody that got cut, apparently. You know, because I started off the show excited about Malik Cunningham because we thought, maybe. We thought just maybe something would happen. Hurts, Mixon, yeah, trade Mixon, and potentially I mean, there's not a lot to throw with it. Mixon and Evans. Bench. Yes, you got Evans. Mixon and Evans for one better player. Pollard, I know you're not going to get it, but try. St. Brown, you're probably not going to get it, but try. You've got Olave already. Personally, I like Walker better than Mixon. I'd do that straight up. Maybe you do a straight up swap like that. Ziggy, show me the front door. What do we got now? The mailman already came. What's this, a package, a delivery? What is this? What is this? Show me it.
Okay.
Come on, bro. Amazon delivery. Okay. Ziggy, off. Team PPR $10 hauler. Appreciate you giving a $10 hauler. All $10 haulers get a moonshot. Appreciate you, Town. Town man. 12 team PPR, 1 QB, 1 running back, 2 wide receiver, 2 flex. Mahomes, Love, Gibbs, Kenneth Walker, Charbonnet, Swift, Deuce Vaughn, Amon-Ra, Watson, London, JSN, Dotson, Kincaid, Juwan Johnson. Very, very good squad. Love the RBs. You don't necessarily need a bunch of them, right? Because you can go heavier wide receiver, but there's nothing wrong with that. You can dominate the running back market. Jalen Warren's got some good value. Maybe you go to the Najee owner and see if you can hold him over his head. And honestly, I don't know that you need to upgrade anything. Amon-Ra, St. Brown, Watson, London. Maybe go poke around at the Garrett Wilson owner. See if they have Najee by chance. Then you can hold Jalen Warren over their head and trade him like a London and something. Dotson and London and Warren could garner you some sort of like crazy player you shouldn't have type of move. I love Kenneth Walker. Do you have Charbonnet? You do. Excellent job. This team's phenomenal. I don't know that you got to make any moves. I think you got to let London, Watson, Swift, Kenneth Walker, Gibbs, pretty much everybody gain value. There are a lot of your teams, guys, that we have a lot of sleepers, and there's just no moves to be made until they gain their appropriate value. So I'm going to tell you, for the most part, stand down, because no one's going to overpay for those dots and wide receivers yet. They will, and we just got to be patient. But your team, I'd probably say hold. Don't stand down. Jalen Hurts, Breece Hall, Rashad White, Justin Jefferson, Devontae Smith, Christian Watson, Zay Flowers, Juwan Johnson. You don't have a lot of maneuverability either, other than trading Rashad White and trying to get, that Breece Hall upgrade. That Rashad White for, what running backs could you potentially go get? If I pull up Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty rankings, I'd probably say, if we go here, let me pull up the rankings here. This is the ADP rankings, and we try and find a player that you could potentially get running back wise. I would say, okay, so Rashad White is going about running back. He's going about 83 overall. Running back, I don't know if this tells me running back number. Running back 28. So running back 28. Right below him is DeAndre Swift. So Rashad White, you don't have DeAndre Swift. I'd probably take DeAndre Swift. But you know who I really like? I like Pacheco with McKinnon, if you're able to get both, if McKinnon's on waivers. I like Pacheco over Rashad White. I do. I like Alvin Kamara. I like Javonte Williams. Maybe you trade Rashad White for Javonte, and it might get done. Maybe you got to give up a tiny bit more. I don't know if you have more of a bench than this. But you also might be a candidate to let Zay Flowers pop off so that you can make that Rashad White, Zay Flowers together trade for one player and you'll have some slumping. So I think that's probably the best move to make for you, is either wait or try and poke around at that and see if you can get it done without having to give up any of those starters. I don't want you trading any of those starters. Paul and Axe dropping super chats. Appreciate you guys. I'm throwing those on the side there. Coming to you next. Coming to you in 1 second. KB82. I got your super chat here. I put it in the corner with Judy. Injury, what round does he fall to? I'll just answer that now and say, I don't know. 4 was where he's going. It was ridiculous. One of the biggest risks in fantasy football was Judy in round 4, JT in round 2. Both those guys have plummeted since we talked about that. So I wouldn't even take Judy in 5 or 6, to be honest with you. Jahan Dotson's going in 6. I want Dotson over Judy 10 times out of 10. I want Pickens in round 6 over Judy. So I guess I would say maybe he goes higher than 6, but I'm not taking him even in round 6. I'm just not. Those wide receivers I just named are much better. Bobby Boy says, thoughts on auction or snake for startup dynasty? I like the snake draft. Auction's fun, but I do like the snake draft a little bit more. Auction is very, very, very tough. The problem with auction is you sometimes you have control of your destiny, but at the same time, the flow can be so jacked up. You can sometimes leave so upset, whereas at least right now, in former years, I probably would say, give me the auction to get my guys. And there's something to that, because you can get Bijan and Gibbs together if you want them. But this is a year where there's so much depth at running back and wide receiver. I kind of like the odds of the snake draft giving me more satisfaction. But at the same time, I don't do enough auctions, and I want to do one. So if you don't have any auctions in your life, maybe make that one an auction. It could be fun. But you do control your destiny. You can get Fields, Gibbs, Bijan, Olave, JSN, and like even probably a Ridley, and compile this amazing team. Maybe even get a Kenneth Walker in there with a $200 budget if everything falls perfectly. But it can be a disastrous situation, and in redraft it's probably better, because if it gets jacked up, at least you're not stuck with it based on a bunch of crazy spending that people can screw the entire auction up. It's kind of like when you go to a blackjack table and you're a good blackjack player, but a person can sit right next to you and ruin your experience and ruin your ability to win. So, you know, there's something to, in an auction, not having some control if people are overspending and doing weird things. 10-team PPR, Watson, Stafford. Don't like the Stafford. There's got to be like, Love's got to be out there or something, right? Mixon, don't like Mixon. Don't like Madison. Don't like Akers. Where were you at, Jimmy the Drunk? You know my tendencies here. Lamb, not a huge fan of Higgins at the cost. Van Jefferson, not a Van Jefferson fan. Not a Lockett fan. Not a Thielen fan. Jimmy, this is not a Smitty team, but that's okay. Watson, not a Smitty quarterback. Bro, this is like the all non-Smitty team minus CeeDee Lamb. Like every single one of these players, pretty much. Bro, Jimmy. Jimmy says he's trying to find a team Smitty can't fix. You may have found it, Jimmy. You may have just wasted $5. I don't know. Don't think you're not the kind of man. You're the kind of man that leaves a $5 tip for a $2 drink. So I don't think you're offended at all. But I would say Mixon and Madison and Akers, you're getting rid of those guys. Higgins and Madison, Higgins and Mixon, go get me a second round player. Then I'm taking Watson, and I don't even know you can fix this. I don't think I can. Mixon and Higgins, or Madison and Higgins for one player, then trade the other one with Akers to get another player. If I could turn Mixon, Higgins, Madison, and Akers into, let's say, Ridley and Walker, I'm feeling better, but then you're super thin. Ridley, Walker, Lamb, I don't know if you can fix this. I don't know. I think I might concede. I don't know, Jimmy. What happened? Jimmy? I got to know what happened on that team. I think you just typed in a bunch of names. I think you were just joking. Because I've seen Jimmy draft before. Jimmy asks some very, very Smitty approved questions a lot, so I don't know how that happened. Beetlejuice is up with his question. 10-team PPR. Got Fields, Gibbs, Javonte, Hill, Lamb, Waller, T. Higgins, McLaurin, Monty, Gibbs. Hey, Jimmy, have you ever heard of Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty? You can start over at any moment you want in time. Redraft today, Jimmy. I love Jimmy. Jimmy's my boy. Got Fields, Gibbs, Javonte, Hill, Lamb, Waller, T. Higgins, McLaurin, Monty. I'm trading T. Higgins and Monty to get, a second-round player. That would be amazing. I'm trading McLaurin and Gibson, McLaurin and Monty, T. Higgins and McLaurin for one better player. Like St. Brown, T. Higgins is going like sometimes top of 3, sometimes late 3. He's definitely sometimes like an early or a late second-round pick where you're like, why are you taking, T. Higgins or a number 2 option on the team, even if it's a potent offense. So adding Monty to T. Higgins is not crazy to think you could get a Pollard or a St. Brown, and I probably would reach for something like that. Jaylen Warren's got some appeal. I think maybe you go to the Najee Harris owner and see if you can upgrade T. Higgins and McLaurin by giving him Jaylen Warren. I like that you have Monty and Gibbs, but I would trade Monty. I don't necessarily need to keep him or cuff him, but it's not a bad move if you want to keep him and just trade these other guys. That's probably where I'd take this team. Reckless, appreciate you. Lucas, Smitty, 12-team, half-point, QB, Rodgers, Gibbs, Swift, Pacheco, Javonte, Amon-Ra, Garrett Wilson, Ridley. Stand down, nothing to do here. Unless you're trading Swift or Pacheco or Javonte with, let's say, I don't know, maybe two of them together. So Swift, Pacheco, Javonte, Swift to get like a Pollard, you got Gibbs, Pollard, Chubb, Henry if you want to take a risk. Those are the only things I can think of because I don't want you trading Amon-Ra. I don't want you trading Ridley. I don't want you trading Garrett Wilson. I don't want you trading maybe Rodgers. Maybe you upgrade Rodgers into Fields using like Pacheco or Swift or Javonte. I probably would do that. That's a pretty nice upgrade. I think that's something that could do you some good on your team. Appreciate you guys dropping these super chats. GRCTV and CW. I got you guys on screen. Let me put you over here in the corner. I'm coming for you next. Appreciate you. Thank you. Paul with a super chat. Paul, 10-team, Herbert, CMC, Mondre, Pierce, Garrett Wilson, St. Brown, London, Swift, Javonte, Addison, Pickens. Very good team. Trading upgrading Ramondre into a Pollard is something I would consider using maybe like a potential bench player. Upgrading Pierce, using Pearson Swift, Pearson Javonte, Pearson Pickens to go get a St. Brown or Pollard, or maybe even a Lamb or A.J. Brown. Past that, I mean, maybe you wait and let some value get gained. Maybe you come in and try and buy low on some players. Some of you have such good depth, but they have to gain their value. Axe with a $10 hauler. Axe, appreciate you with the $10 hauler, my guy. Axe says, Smitty, what should I do at the 8th 12-team PPR? If Kelsey and Bijan are gone, the Garrett Wilson maneuver and Pollard, or Garrett Wilson and St. Brown, or Garrett Wilson and Lamb. Those are probably the best approaches in my opinion. Steve dropping a $10 hauler on screen. Steve, appreciate you.
To the moon.
Warner, appreciate you, Warner, for dropping yours as well.
To the moon.
And I'll put Warner's in the corner here. Warner, thank you. Steve, $10 hauler. Russell Wilson, not a fan of that quarterback situation. With Aaron Rodgers. I like Aaron Rodgers more than Russell Wilson. What is this? Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers. Okay, that's the abbreviation, I guess. Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Sam Howell. Okay. My mind was just reading this weird. Tony Pollard, J.K. Dobb, Bree Hall. What are we doing with these weird abbreviations? I like, it's fitting with the avatar too. It's like we're talking a different language here. Bree Hall, Zach Sharp, Eli Mitchell. Then he spells out everything. Tyler Algier, Zeke Elliott. Okay. Chase, Christian Watson, Calvin Ridley, fantastic wide receivers. Drake London, tight end Dalton Schultz. I look at the waiver wire, tight end, see if there's anybody. But Aaron Rodgers ain't bad, bro. Aaron Rodgers, Tony Pollard. I'm getting rid of, I like Breece Hall. I'm getting rid of J.K. Dobbins. J.K. Dobbins and Drake London. J.K. Dobbins and potentially Christian Watson for one monster player. Or I'm trading J.K. Dobbins to upgrade my quarterback into a Fields, Burrow, Hurts, Mahomes, Josh Allen. J.K. Dobbins to upgrade maybe my Christian Watson into Garrett Wilson. My Christian Watson into maybe St. Brown. J.K. Dobbins is worth that. Getting rid of. I think he could get you that. I think if somebody's struggling at RB, you might get it done. Those are moves I would make. Warner, 12-team PPR. Thank you for the super chat. 1 QB, 2 wide receiver, 1 running back, 2 flex. I got Fields, Bijan, Etienne, Walker, Javonte, Charbonnet, Bigsby, Olave, Watson, Pickens. Get out of here. What do you need help with? Any trades I should make? No. Let this ride, bro. Unless you're getting Javonte Watson turned into Pollard, which you could try. Unless you're getting Breece Hall for maybe, let's say, Pickens and I like it, bro. I'm not touching this. I mean, Javonte and Watson, Javonte and Pickens for a potential Pollard or maybe a Garrett Wilson, maybe a St. Brown. That's it. Those are the moves to make. Otherwise, I'm letting this ride, and I'm taking it to the bank, baby. I'm taking it to the bank. I'm letting some value get gained, and then I'm making some buy low, sell high moves once some players slump and have a bad start to the year. Oliver with a $20 hauler.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Oliver, my guy, sold Bailey Zappi in Dynasty 2 months ago for 4th and 5th round picks, was randomly checking the value, and you broke the news that he was cut, winning. Forget the detractors. You can't keep up with every cut in the news break. I don't feel bad. It doesn't bother me at all. Look, there's a couple people saying, Smitty, don't listen to him. He didn't even know that Malik Cunningham was cut. This all happened today. I'm preparing for a live stream. I can't read everything while I'm making graphics and everything. So, I don't feel bad at all. So I appreciate you, though. But, who cares? I'm a human being. I'm a human being that's reading news reports and wires. And while I'm getting excited and I ramped up Malik Cunningham and then realized he just got cut, that's okay. It's good humor. I'm entertaining you. I took a lap. Already took a lap. I'll take a lap again. Doesn't mean I don't love Malik Cunningham just because what's-his-face doesn't. Frankie, hey, guys, if you could get Mahomes, Kelsey, Henry. Oh, already took care of that one. Thank you. I did have that on the screen there, I think. This one's from DJ Meat Missile, $10 hauler.
To the moon.
To the moon. $10 hauler. 0.5 PPR Fields. Aaron Jones. Akers. I don't like those RBs. Jefferson. Lamb. Sun God. Love the wide receivers. Benches. Dobbins. There you go. London. Look. London. Dobbins. Together. You could even keep Aaron Jones. London. Dobbins. And Akers for Pollard. London. Dobbins and Akers for Chubb. London. Dobbins and Akers for Derrick Henry. I'm even fine with that. London, Dobbins, and Akers all for Jahmyr Gibbs. Try to not give up all of them, but work your way into it. London, Dobbins, Akers, for Ramondre. And maybe those are all, that's too much, but you know what I'm saying? The trio, come up with a 2 combination, do your best. But he just hit 303 likes. We're giving away another The Fantasy Football Show membership. How are we giving it away? First of all, the fantasyfootballshow.com membership. If you go to thefantasyfootballshow.com, you'll see there's rankings, bold predictions, trade calculators, everything. The only thing, the package I'm giving away is the $35 package. It does not have the text device included. That's an extra cost. That is a very intensive feature that I can't really give away. Rankings, all that, go check it out. But how do you get it? Well, we just hit 300 likes, so 2 more. So 7 total memberships will be given away on my Instagram. If you go to my Instagram profile and click the Calvin Ridley, I believe it's the second most recent video, And in the comments, drop a bunch of fire emojis and tag some buddies. And I'm going to pick 7 random people. And if we hit 400 likes by the end of the live stream, we'll give away another one. Okay, Meat Missile, go do it live, bro. That's what I'm doing with this team. Keep Aaron Jones and use combinations. Try and get rid of 2. You don't necessarily get rid of, you know, all 3 of them for 1. But you could. I mean, I'd get rid of all 3 for Gibbs, to be honest with you. But that's just me. Don't tell anybody. $7.99 holler. Love your work, Smitty. 12-man PPR. The work loves you back. T-Law, Walker, Bijan, Aaron, A.J. Brown, Debo. Love this team. Kamara, JSN. I don't do anything right now. This is the team. This is a team I want. I would just get Charbonnet. You got sniped somehow. That is what you need to work on. But, I mean, look. A.J. Brown, Debo, Pickens. Love it. Kamara on the bench. Love it. JSN on the bench. Tony Kincaid, love it. I love everything about this team except for you don't have Zach Charbonnet. But I really, really love this squad. And what do you give up for him? I mean, you're going to be, unfortunately, you're going to have to look for like a Tony Charbonnet trade. And that's a little bit of an overpay. But you almost have to wait because the owner might not even do it because he probably doesn't trust Tony. But that's unfortunate that you got to give up Tony in the upside. But there's no other way to get Charbonnet. I got Bijan and Gibbs with Dotson, Javonte, JSN for flex options. Do I trade Amon-Ra for Javonte and Watson or Dotson? I got Bijan, Gibbs, Dotson, Javonte, JSN for a flex option. Do I trade Amon-Ra for... So if your flex option's that deep, Dotson, Javonte, JSN, do I trade Amon-Ra for Javonte, Watson, Dotson? Javonte, Watson, Dotson. I think you're trying to say it the other way around. Do I take Amon-Ra for Javonte and Watson or Dotson? Yes. I'd probably give up Dotson and Javonte for Amon-Ra in your shoes, given you have extreme depth. But I think, yeah, you asked that question backwards. But if I got it wrong, you understand my point because I'm taking the side, not necessarily assuming what you have. Can you play the mashed potatoes jingle? I like the scream at the end. It gets cut off sometimes.
Let's go, mashed potatoes! Yeah, buddy.
Appreciate you. Rough, buff, fire. My main man. Damien, I know Damien dropped something. I think he did super chat again, but I'll go looking. 10-man full PPR redraft. Just traded Devontae Adams, Lockett, and Mike Evans for Amon-Ra and Garrett Wilson and got Wilson Olave.
Got him.
Bro, that's a sick trade. Evans, Lockett, and Adams for Amon-Ra and Garrett Wilson. Bro, I would have traded Evans, Lockett, and Adams for Garrett Wilson. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody, bro. That's crazy. That's crazy. GRCTV, thank you. Picked from the 7th spot. Bijan, St. Brown, Ridley, T-Law, J.K. Dobbins, McLaurin, Mike Evans, Jalen Warren. Try and trade Jalen Warren and J.K. Try and trade Jalen Warren and McLaurin, Mike Evans and J.K. Go get yourself a Tony Pollard if you can. Go get yourself a potential. You already got Ridley. So, I mean, looking at wide receivers around the Ridley territory, we're talking about, you know, obviously CeeDee Lamb, Waddle. You got Ridley, Olave, J.K. Dobbins and McLaurin for Olave, J.K. Dobbins and Mike Evans for Olave. Go to the Najee owner and try and see what he has to throw that Jalen Warren in to get that kind of swap going on. 5 multiple red flag players other than JT and JJ. 5 multiple red flag players other than JT and JJ. JJ doesn't have Josh Jacobs. Okay, JJ's Justin Jefferson, so you're confusing me there. We don't use JJ for Josh Jacobs. He doesn't deserve that. That's Justin Jefferson's label. Top 5 multiple red flag players. I'd say JK is also another big red flag player for sure. This one's from JNH, $10 hauler, super chat. Appreciate you.
To the moon.
JNH to the moon, JNH. Herbert, Bijan, Tyreek, Diggs, Goddard, Pollard, London, Dotson, Pickens, Hollywood Brown, JSN, Charbonnet made moves last year in pre-draft. Did I kill it or what? You did. You did. Bijan, Tyreek, Diggs. I mean, Pollard. How do you get better than this? You know, could you couple a couple of these guys together? Yeah, but you got to wait because Dotson, London, JSN, those guys aren't ready to be traded right now, Pickens, but you will soon have like trade offers galore, bro. They're going to be so plentiful. you're going to be able to get whatever you want in a trade very, very soon. So just hang tight on that. Don't extend yourself in a trade early on without having those guys gain their value. Traded Swift for Brees straight up. Big W, Joey.
Got him.
Cheryl with the $10 hauler. Appreciate you, Cheryl. A longtime supporter, always coming in with super chats. Appreciate you. Hey, Smitty, got to share. So excited. Just finished my draft with 20-plus year league. T-Law, Garrett Wilson, London, Pollard, Gibbs, Freiermuth, Brees Hall, benches, McLaurin, JSN, Charbonnet, Okonkwo. Like the team a lot. I like the team a lot. The only players I'm even tempted to move, McLaurin with the turf toe. Maybe you move McLaurin and Freiermuth together to get maybe some kind of tight end upgrade. I don't think you could reach as high as Andrews, but, you could maybe get something going there. If not, look, maybe, and I love T-Law. But maybe, McLaurin upgrades you into Fields. If the person doesn't like Fields, you could poke around and see. If you like T-Law even more than Fields, trust your gut, because I love T-Law a lot. I want him in a ton of leagues, so I'm not saying to get rid of him. Very, very good team. There's not much to do here. McLaurin's the only player I don't really absolutely love. You could even trade McLaurin for a Swift or a Pacheco or an Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara could win leagues. So that's the only move I would consider. Very, very, very good team. Kendre Miller, that would also, coupled with Kamara, would be good for your team. So I would look to do the McLaurin Kamara swap potentially, if that owner would even be tempted to do that. They might not. They might love Kamara. Pacheco's another really good RB. Other RBs to go after. Swift, like I said, that would be good. Let's see here. Ryan, appreciate you. Bijan, AJ Brown, Olave, Keenan Allen, Herbert, Hawkinson, Khalil Herbert, Addison, Charbonnet, Eli Mitchell, Quentin Johnson. Any trades? Bijan, AJ Brown, Olave. I don't love Keenan Allen. Honestly, if I'm being honest, Ryan, you're asking me for my opinion. I'm not here to just pat you on the back and pretend everything looks amazing. It's a good squad. You got a good core. Bijan's first rounder. AJ Brown's technically a first rounder, like borderline. Olave's a second rounder. So you technically have 3 players inside my top 20, my top 15. So you're off to the races. It just falls off, though, a cliff. It's almost like maybe you traded. It's a keeper league or something, and maybe you traded your 4th and 5th round in some deal in the past or something, but it just falls off a cliff. Herbert and Keenan Allen feel like reaches to me. Like I'd much rather have Ridleys and Walkers and Brees Halls, and then go like Aaron Rodgers and combination of love Aaron Rodgers than to have Justin Herbert and Keenan Allen consuming those early draft spots. If it's me, I'm trading probably Hawkinson, and I'm going what we call commando at tight end. You're going a little free. go to the waiver wire, try and grab a Okonkwo's, Kincaid's, and trade Hawkinson to get into a potential Walker or Ridley or something along those lines. That's what I would do with this team, and I try and trade Keenan Allen for a receiver I like better, like Ridley, or a running back like Walker or Hall. If you turn Keenan Allen, whose ADP is extremely high, a player that I'm running from this year, you trade Keenan Allen, a big avoid for me. Him, JT, Josh Jacobs, J.K. Dobbins, huge avoids for me. If you go turn Keenan Allen, and here come the Keenan Allen supporters. They're so passionate, and I love them. Into a player like Hall or Walker. Keenan Allen for Hall or Walker, straight up. And the ADPs make sense. And you turn Hawkinson into a Ridley. This team is an absolute contender. And you just go a little bit light at the tight end position and get out there on the waiver wire and make it work. Please rank ETN, Stevenson, Gibbs, and solid running back 3 options. Without knowing your wide receivers, Tyler, I don't know if they're great options, to be honest, because you got to factor that in. But I would say in generally speaking, ETN, Gibbs, and Stevenson, if you are strong and heavy at wide receiver because you went a little bit late running back shopping, like you got Jamar Chase and Olave, absolutely, bro. ETN, Stevenson, and Gibbs are phenomenal running backs in that context with that build. And we've got Frag here with a super chat. 12 team. T-Law, Bijan, Brees, Ridley, Dotson, Andrews, and Pierce. Love it. You're in real good shape. I'd entertain a Pierce for Walker, Pierce for Hall swap, to be honest, but that's just me. Past that, you're in very, very good shape. I like it. Your team looks really, really solid. Looks really crafty. And we are caught up on Super Chats. Phone lines are open. Dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Brought to you by Russian Collusion and DDD, DW, TMT. Dial into the show. I don't know how long the phone lines will be open. Damien, let me look for Damien's Super Chat. Damien, Ivan, or Ian, Ivan. Ian dropped that Super Chat. Smitty. Okay, I took care of him then. He dropped a $4.99 holler, then a 20, and I took care of him, so I just wanted to make sure. And then Damien dropped this one right here, and then he dropped it later on. Okay, so I took care of both of you guys. Appreciate you. Let's answer the phone line here. First caller of the day is James. What's up, James?
How's it going?
What's up? Hey, James, hang on 1 second. Let me put this caller on hold. 270 caller. Who's this and where are you calling from? $270 caller. Who's this and where are you calling from?
From Kentucky.
Peyton from Kentucky. Okay, Peyton, hang tight, okay? Hang tight. I'm going to come around to you. I got Don Draper on hold. I've got James here. James, what can I do for you? You're live first.
All right. I wanted to talk about the Keenan Allen thing. I'm trying to understand this correctly. Do you just not like him at cost of entry, or do you not like him at all?
Yeah, it's cost of entry. I mean, look, there are some players like Derrick Henry, 29 years old. Come on. There's a huge risk of Derrick Henry finishing a season. But, like, if he falls, he's a value. Like, there's a line in the sand. I've talked about the line in the sand before, and I need to do a video on it. But every player, if everybody can mute that's not talking right now, I got a lot of background noise. If there's a line in the sand for every player, where is it? Like, Derrick Henry's line in the sand, it's not in round 1. If Derrick Henry is getting drafted at 5 overall, his line in the sand where he goes from an avoid, hits that line and flips into a value is so far away from number 5 overall. But, like, if he's going at, like, 3.1, that's a really decent chance he's below that line for me. And I'm like, you know what? Let's let it ride. Let's let it ride. Henry could play, 12 games and I'd be fine. Whatever, I could fill voids other ways. I could get Pacheco and McKinnon to support when Henry's out. Maybe Henry misses 5 games in the middle of the season and balls out at the front and back. And with a guy like Keenan Allen, who's extremely injury prone, even if you want to argue that he somehow plays a lot of the time, whatever, he's extremely injury prone. Him and Mike Williams played, I believe, 4 or 5 games together last year. Keenan Allen's older. Keenan Allen is going to be more injury prone this year than ever because he's older. And it's a changing offense, which could be a good thing, but a changing offense is a concern. And you nailed it on the head. It's not so much that I hate Keenan Allen. I just don't understand why he's getting drafted, in some cases above Debo. And you could say Debo's injury prone. You could say Debo failed. And you'd have me there, touche. It's just a matter of personal preference at that point. But DJ Moore's looking fire. I'd rather have DJ Moore over Keenan Allen. Debo Samuel, rather have Debo Samuel. Christian Watson, give me Christian Watson, who's going to take the league by storm. There's just a handful. Ridley, DK Metcalf. Amari Cooper's another one I'm not going near because he's right in the middle of all those guys I just named. It's all about I love the other players better. But the cost of entry on Amari Cooper and Keenan Allen is asinine, in my opinion.
So I got a follow-up question. I want to read you my team really quick, and I did a trade to get Keenan Allen. I want you to tell me what you think of it.
Okay.
So I have Trevor Lawrence, Bijan Robinson, Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Gerald Everett, and my tight ends, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Keenan Allen is my flex. I had picked up Mike Evans and Mike Williams in like the 10th and 11th round really, really, really late. And I flipped those two for Keenan Allen to plug into my flex.
Mike Evans and who?
Mike Evans and Mike Williams. I traded for Keenan Allen.
I mean, I don't hate it. It didn't lose your league. It didn't necessarily win you anything either. Like, could Mike Evans be better than Keenan Allen? I think he could. Like, Mike Evans has had 1,000-yard seasons since you were born, straight. And so he's a decent option. He's a decent option. He could definitely be better than Keenan Allen. I'm not saying he will or won't, but Mike Williams doesn't really tickle my fancy, bro. I'll trade him away, no worries whatsoever. So, like, I don't know. I think maybe it could work out for you, sure. But it doesn't mean that I absolutely love either side of it. I would probably flip Keenan Allen, bro. I'd flip Keenan Allen for Deebo Samuel. I'd flip Keenan Allen for Christian Watson, who's going later. So maybe you did a good move, because here's the bottom line, bro. What did you do ultimately? You got a player that has better ADP value. So at the end of the day, you did good. Now I flip it again.
Right.
Because
I also have Hopkins on my bench. Would you start him over Keenan Allen?
I would.
It's a 10-man.
I would start Hopkins over Keenan Allen. But Keenan Allen will get you far more in a trade than Mike Evans, who sometimes goes, and he's a value, but he goes in round 7. Mike Evans. Mike Williams goes way too high. I don't know why Mike Williams goes so high. But yeah, bro, flip that, and you don't have to trust your gut, but if you flip that into Deebo, into Christian Watson, into a potential, like, Keenan Allen is going, his ADP is freaking 35 overall. What running backs are going 35 overall? ETN's going 39 overall. So, like, in no offense, who's this again? James? No offense, James. Yeah, don't think I'm saying this to you, but if somebody out there would rather have Keenan Allen over ETN or Ramondre or Najee Harris with the 42 overall ADP, Keenan Allen's ahead of Najee Harris, ahead of Breece Hall, ahead of Kenneth Walker. Like, don't tell me you can't get one of the guys I just named, because every one of their ADPs is below Keenan Allen. That's crazy to me. Crazy.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Hey, James, appreciate you. I'm going to let you run. Later, pal.
All right. Bye.
Don Draper, you're live. Everybody else mute, please.
My man.
What's up?
Hey, so I got a bit of a situation. I drafted JT yesterday. I already know I've been watching the show. I shouldn't have done it, but I was kind of in a weird situation where I kind of had to grab him. Anyways, it's a 12-team super flex league, and I'm trying to figure out who I could trade him for now. I need to move him because I'm thin at running back. My only backs right now are Damian Pierce, Zach Charbonnet, and then JT. That's literally it. So I'm trying to see if I could maybe package something together to maybe grab another back with JT. My league, I mean, they're veterans, so I'm not going to be able just to float JT out there on name alone. They're going to want me to, package him with something. And
I don't know who's. Is that? Hold on, Don? Is that you making all the noise, or is somebody else making a lot of noise while they're talking? Because I can't hear you. Because somebody
else.
Yeah, somebody mute. Whoever, is that Bobby or is that Farb or whoever? Guys, mute yourself if you're not talking, please. Thank you. Because somebody's like doing the dishes or something. All right, go ahead. Sorry, Don.
So 12-team super flex. It's a half-point PPR, and so I was drafting from the 9th spot. Again, I'm thin at running back. One of my only 3 running backs on roster. One of them is JT. The other is Damian Pierce and Zach Charbonnet. That's it. So I'm like, I need to do something because obviously JT's out for 4 weeks minimum, maybe even longer. And so I don't know what to do because, right now I'm sitting with Josh Allen, Justin Fields, Olave, Amari Cooper, Dalton Kincaid, Christian Watson. And then on my bench, I have Jahan Dotson, JSN, Stroud, Nico Collins.
Yeah, bro, the best buy lows are the guys I just named. The fact that you can trade a Keenan Allen right now for Walker, Hall, ETN, Breece Hall, I'd say Breece Hall, Najee Harris, Ramondre, like those guys are all in the 40 overall ADP territory, right around 40 overall. So you just move wide receivers the best you can to try and get one of those RBs. But JT is definitely a disaster situation. I don't even know if you could trade him for enough to make it worth trading him. You always could throw like a Dotson and JT together to get maybe a Walker or Hall or potentially an ETN. You could see if that would work. That might get somebody excited. I don't know. Now, this is Dynasty, you said, right? So JT does have
No, just super flex.
Okay.
It's redraft.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can get
So,
rid
yeah,
of them. I don't know if you can get rid of them. You could try, but it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard. That was definitely a tough player to bank on because there's so many things going on there with his injuries and everything. I don't know. You could always try and
one thing I think go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say the one thing that I kind of have, not in my favor, but the league has, is we have IR spots. So, I mean, if somebody's, thinking that maybe JT could return after week 4, that like now I think would kind of be the time where maybe he has a little bit of value because they could put him in an IR spot. He's not taking up a bench spot. And,
you might have to wait. You might have to wait. There's no great answer for you right now other than to try your best to buy low on one of those RBs. All right, hang tight, Don. I'm going to swing around. Last question, and I got Swinger on the phone line.
Okay, real quick. Yeah, so then would you try to pair like a JT and a Dotson in order to grab a Kenneth Walker?
Yeah, that's what I just said. Yeah, I mean, I'd trade JT and Dotson to try and get one of those RBs. Hall, Walker, ETN. Maybe even Ramondre, but I'd prefer those other guys for sure, bro. For sure. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
Because, I mean, you just don't know what JT's going to be doing for you, man. And you might have to wait, though, because, if you're 1 week closer to JT coming back, he's a little more attractive. So if Dotson goes out there and balls out in week 1, has 100 yards and a touchdown, now you'll be able to trade JT a little bit easier because he's closer to returning, maybe. And Dotson proved himself to the kind of believer. So don't force anything and realize you might potentially have the ability to gain on this later. So don't force it.
Oh.
All right, Don, appreciate you. I'm gonna let you go because I'm gonna keep circling around the phone line. I got a $20 super chat here by Cut to the Chase.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Cut to the Chase, dropping a 20 watt on screen. And yeah, JSN practicing already. JSN to the absolute moon. Look, we've hit a lot of things so far this offseason. I'm not trying to pat ourselves on the back here, but I mean, good Lord. The moon men are going nuts. The buy on the dip on JSN when people are freaking out. Buy on the dip on Joe Burrow when people are freaking out. Stay away from JT. We've hit a lot of things so far. And I'm so excited about this season starting out. Been listening since March. First time super chatter. Thank you, Cut to the Chase. We're sending you to the moon. On top of that, for this being your first super chat, let me put this caller on hold here. This is a 562 caller. Where are you calling from and what is your name? Chase from California. If you could turn the show off in the background. That way I don't get the reverb. Okay, Chase from California. Chase, you said? Pam or Pan?
Yes, Chase.
You say your name's Pan or Pam?
I get your reference.
Okay, hold on. Mute yourself real quick. All right, thank you, pal. Is this you, the super chatter? Cut to the Chase?
Yeah, that's me, yes.
Oh, that's you. Hey, don't. I'm not putting you on hold then. You just dropped a $20 holler. Chase, let me read your question. Been listening since March. First time super chatter. Appreciate you, Chase, for dropping that. Just did my draft. Got rated by the other members as the worst draft. That happens to us every single time. It's a badge of honor because we're drafting with the foresight of the future, bro. We see it coming, okay? So other members' worst draft, straight poop and embarrassing. Pick 5. Bijan almost got laughed out of the room. Second, Olave laughs. Tell me your team, bro. And because this is your first time super chatting, I'm gonna give you a marker board sesh, bro, real quickly. I'm gonna have to leave here in a minute. That's why I went live early today. Give me your team real quick, bro.
Okay, so started with Bijan, then Olave, then Breece Hall, Justin Fields, London, Javonte Williams, Dotson, Flowers, Charbonnet, Kincaid.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. That's good there.
Conso.
I'll just tell you, bro. I'll just tell you, you crushed it. Dotson on top of it. You have a lot of players that you cannot trade right now. Do you have JSM by chance?
No, he was
Okay.
he was taking. It was between him or Flowers.
I just
And
wanted to make
kinda
sure.
went for
But this team is straight fire, bro. Hall, Bijan, Olave, Fields, London, but these are all risers. Do you understand why you're getting no points? Because they, even the platforms that are doing the projections have to see if Bijan's going to do it. They have to see if Olave is going to do it. They can't trust Brees Hall right now. Fields hasn't done it yet. London hasn't done it yet. Javante's got to bounce back. Dotson's got to bounce back. Every single one of these players is a little bit of a gamble, but it's a calculated risk. Sum total, your team does have a lot of risk, but you have so much upside and appeal. Let the haters hate. I would try and potentially get Walker onto this team. I just feel like it would be a good fit. I don't know what you'd do, what you'd trade. Javante's kind of interesting to hold and trade. I don't know that you can even make any moves because you'd have to sell low on these guys because their people are laughing at you. Bijan, taking Bijan and they're laughing at you, that's crazy. Olave, he's a potential top 5 wide receiver. Brees Hall might be slow starting. Who's your backup other than Javante on the bench for running backs?
I have. It's just Bijan, Brees, Javante, and Zach Charbonnet. Walker was taken in the 4th round on the turn at the end, the 12th pick. The guy like Seattle, so he got it.
And then who are your backup wide receivers after Dotson?
I have Flowers and Tank Dell.
Okay, so just wait a little bit. I mean, of course, I'd be interested in the Javante and Walker swap, but that would probably cost you a Dotson or a London, and I don't know that I want you to do that right now because you actually do need that depth. But this is a good squad, bro. You did really good. Appreciate your super chat, and you smashed it.
I'm not trading anybody. I'm going to wait and see. I'm going to be patient like you've been saying the whole time. It's just funny because they were laughing at me, and I'm ranked 12, but, on the projection, I'm like, you guys are ridiculous and don't get it. So I can't wait to just come out and show everybody what's up. And then whatever money I win, because we win $1,500, you for sure getting some money from this. Getting some kickback.
Attaboy. Appreciate you. And stay alert on the waiver wire. The one thing I will say for your team is it feels like it's a little bit like tight in terms of, if something bad happens, like you need somebody to step up. So Flowers is perfect. Charbonnet's great. But just stay alert because last year McKinnon off waivers was a league winner. McKinnon was the #1 running back in fantasy football in 2 different weeks last year, and he absolutely won people leagues. So just don't be the best person in your league on the waiver wire because if you land that one player, and usually that player emerges between week 1 and week 6, and a lot of the time it's between week 1 and week 3. If you land that player, that's going to be the difference for you in how you completely just distance yourself from the pack. Because right now, I won't lie, there are probably teams that are near as good as yours, maybe 2 or 3 or 4 teams. It's probably pretty close. If you had a touch more depth, I would say you're like you can take all of them by storm. But just stay alert, man. Don't slip up and let somebody else get the McKinnon this year. Okay, that's the one thing I'd tell you.
I'll be watching your show. I know you keep me updated.
Yeah. All right, man. See you for the 24-hour live stream too on opening day Sunday. I'll be live that whole day on the YouTube channel. All right, man. Appreciate you, Chase.
Last point, real quick.
Yeah.
Just my team name is To Infinity and Bijan.
That's a good one. To Infinity and Bijan. I haven't heard that one yet. That's good. All right, man. Appreciate you, Chase.
Thank you.
All right. Hey, guys, I got to go really quickly because I got to leave here. So, Peyton from Kentucky, I'm so sorry to cut you short. You got 20 seconds. Ask your question, and I might even hang up on you to answer it. So, please be mindful of the 20-second timer. Go.
All good, man. Hey, I've been watching for a long time. I got Charbonnet. I didn't get Walker. The guy that has Walker has Algier. He was wanting to – I watched the stream last night, and I went to him. And he offered me Algier for Sharp straight up. Should I do it?
Well, do you have Bijan?
Yes, I got Bijan. 4th overall, I took him.
I don't know because it's like part of me would rather have Charbonnet than Algier if, let's say, both were starting.
That's what I thought.
I mean, Algier did really well last year. I think it's almost disrespectful for me to say that, but I don't know. What's the chat think? Can the chat chime in? If he's got Bijan, is he making this trade, or are you just saying no? And part of me wants you to just, I know it's hard, but part of me wants you to just go get freaking Walker somehow, some way. But
well, what I said to him, he's got Walker, and so he wants Charbonnet, and I've got Bijan, so he's thinking Charbonnet for Algier is is fair. But I mean, I told him straight up, I was like, Charbonnet is more valuable of a handcuff than Algier
Yeah.
in my eyes.
And he's going to argue that, but who cares? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Rel 7. Yeah, so I would say go ahead and go ahead and try and get more. You know, try and get a wide receiver upgrade or something like that in there. You know, maybe he's got a Watson and
Gotcha.
you've got a Keenan Allen, and you could.
Yeah, I've got 11 of the Moon Men. I think you would think I killed my draft, so I
Yeah.
wanted to call in and.
Yeah, give me your top 5 picks real quick, and then I gotta go.
I had the 4th overall 10 team. I did Bijan, Olave, Ridley, and then Fields.
Nice job, bro. Smashed it. All right. See you later, Peyton. Appreciate you. Calling tonight. We're going live on Underdog Fantasy. Promo code Smitty. The link is going to be dropped in the live chat right now. And if you guys haven't signed up, sign up now so you're ready to go and not scrambling to try and get in. Use code Smitty. They'll match up to $100. We'll see you tonight, Peyton. We're drafting live around 1 a.m., okay? Later, man.
Later.
Farb, you got 20 seconds. I'm so sorry to cut you off, but you got to go quick.
All good. All right, so I didn't get a backup quarterback. I got Trevor Lawrence. Do I make any kind of moves? There's nobody really out there. Bryce Young's probably the best out there. So my lineup, I got Bijan, Gibbs, Hall, McKinnon, and Algier. Receivers, Olave, Watson, Pickens, Jackson Smith, Tony, and Tank Dell. I got Kincaid and Okonkwo. And that's it.
I mean, I would get Bryce Young for sure, just so you have a backup. But I don't know that you're trading. That team sounds really good. You got a lot of depth. I wouldn't be making moves for your backup.
Who do I even cut though? Algier, Tank Dell, Tony. That's why I kind of kept missing the quarterback run because they kept being such good value.
Are there enough quarterbacks out there that you think you'll be fine? Like, is there 5 starters, 7 starters out there?
I mean, there's starters like Bryce Young, Stroud, Stafford. There's.
I mean, if there's more than
pretty thin.
If there's
Baker,
more than 4 or 5,
maybe
you do let it ride, you know, and just get through week.
There's starters out there.
Get through week 1. It's a little risky, but get through week 1. I bet you somebody drops a quarterback too, you know, or something like that, you know. So I would. It's a little risky. Understand the risk involved. What I'm telling you, but. I would probably let it ride because there's more value in those guys that I don't want you to cut that might be able to help you make a trade later. All right, bro. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
All right, later,
Farm. Thank you.
All right, Cole, you're live. 20 seconds, bro. Fast as you can.
Hey, what's up?
What's up?
So I got a guy. It's a 12-team PPR. I had the first pick. I took Justin Jefferson. Dude's coming after him. I wasn't planning on trading him. He's got Vikings tattoos, Viking necklaces, huge Vikes fan. He wants to give me Chubb and DK for my JJ.
Chubb and DK for JJ. Chubb and DK for JJ. Man. Chat, can you guys vote on that one? Chubb and DK for JJ. Does DK go right into your lineup? Or do you have a dilemma? Because if you have a dilemma, then no.
I mean, it would be between DK and Mike Williams.
I like DK a lot more, but let's see what the chat thinks on that one. I mean, JJ's hard to trade. I'd probably say no. I'd probably say Mike Williams and JJ are better than DK and Chubb. So I'm going to say no. But I do try and move Mike Williams for like a Watson, you know, another player. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, bro. Appreciate you, Cole. Call in tonight. We're live doing Underdog Fantasy Drafting, okay? Later, pal.
Okay. Yeah, he's got some other players that I'm interested in, so I'll call back and
Yeah. Let's try and figure it out tonight. All right, later, man. Bobby, you're live.
Hi, bye.
Go quick, Bobby.
What's up, Smitty?
What's up?
All right, quick question. 8-man Dynasty Superflex. Since it's an 8-man, how heavy are you going to try to go on quarterback? Like, obviously, maybe if you're at the end of the draft, like T-Law and Fields are sitting there, or are you trying to grab like a Bijan and a Fields?
At 1 QB?
It's a Superflex 8-man Dynasty.
Yeah, I'm still taking quarterback as if it's a 12-man. Because the advantage of having one of those quarterbacks, so I'm taking Fields or Burrow, and you're probably getting them. I imagine you're getting one of them. And honestly, I probably roll the dice on the second quarterback because you have an even greater chance now of getting Aaron Rodgers or Love, and I think they're such good values, then I would come in the second, third, and maybe even fourth round and go wide receiver, running back combinations and get the Bijans, Garrett Wilson, St. Brown, Walker, and then get Jordan Love and then smash the league to pieces.
All right, cool.
All right, Bobby. Appreciate you. Later. We'll see you tonight.
All
Underdog
right,
Fantasy promo code Smitty. Here's the link one more time. I dropped it. Make sure you click that link. Use code Smitty. They'll match up to $100 in your first deposit. Get ready to rumble tonight. We're drafting at 1 a.m. Eastern. Brucey, I got to go. I'm going to give you a few more seconds than normal, but you're a veteran here, but I do need to go, so hurry up if you can, Brucey. How you doing, by the way?
Hey, I'm feeling good. Hey, Smitty, on
Hawkinson,
my
Ray.
first and second round picks, I drafted Cooper Kupp, and since Bijan was gone, I took Garrett Wilson and Cooper Kupp since Bijan was gone.
Okay.
What do you think Cooper Kupp's value is? Because people are trying to trade for him already, or should I just say, nah, man, I'm keeping him?
I would trade him because he's 30 years old, coming off, an injury that put him on the shelf and took him a while to come back from. He wasn't at full go for a while. He looks full go now, but suffered the hamstring injury trying to come back a little too early. He looks good now, but at any moment, 30 years old, that hammy could go out again. It depends on what you could get. Like St. Brown, I'd rather have St. Brown than Cooper Kupp this year. Pollard, I'd be tempted to get Pollard and some. Or you just go down a little further, you get a Walker and a Debo for Cooper Kupp, like something crazy like that. Go to Walker shopping, go Breece Hall shopping, try and see what wide receiver you could get tossed in. Make sure it's a good enough name that it makes sense. Walker and even Christian Watson for Cooper Kupp would be a smash. London, like those guys would be enough for me to throw with Walker. ETN and Debo, ETN and Watson maybe even. That's what I would do with Cooper Kupp if I had him, because he seems to have some very good value right now.
Okay.
All right, Brucey, call him tonight, bro. Okay, appreciate you.
All right.
All right, later.
Yep, let's do that.
Ray, you're taking Hawkinson over Ingram. He's just getting drafted higher. Even if you wanted Ingram, make sure if you're doing a trade, you're getting more in advance. So Ray, appreciate you. 10-man league, 10-man league, $10 hauler from my boy Rel.
To the moon.
Appreciate you, Rel, for dropping the super chat on screen, my guy. Allen, Burrow, Gibbs, Javonte. Allen, Burrow, Gibbs, Javonte, Charbonnet, McKinnon, JJ, Garrett Wilson, Waddle, JSN. This is a phenomenal squad. The only thing I'm looking to do per usual, and this is super flex, you got Burrow and Allen. You're going to beat everybody, first of all. You already won, essentially. Trade Javonte. Let me read your question. Trade Javonte, JK, and JSN for Bijan. Absolutely. You read my mind, essentially. Just trying to get rid of some of that depth. Smash that trade right now. Hold on, Chris from New York. Let me get through these super chats real quick. Then I'm going to answer your question. Then I got to jump early. I went live early. It's a 3-hour show. I went live early so that I could jump a little early for a dinner tonight. $10 hauler, Zach. Dynasty got offered a trade Madison, Addison, 2024 1.3. How do you have a 2024 1.3? Oh, maybe it's like a redraft keeper pick or something. How do you even have that, though, decided in 2024? For Waddle, a second. Dynasty got offered a trade. Madison, Addison, 24. I take Waddle over that because Waddle, first of all, has a lot of trade value. If I do the trade, the 1.3, and I still have the 1.1 in 2024. Okay, so it's a for sure 1.3. Actually, let me back up for a second. Yeah, I would take Waddle. The only thing is if it was the 1.2 and it was the number one running back for sure, and this could change. I mean, look how good the 1.2 looked later to us. Like Gibbs, when it was the 1.1, 1.2 conversation early in the offseason, we thought, oh, wow, the 1.1's the smash. No one's even close. And then Gibbs started to gain so much value. That 1.3 could be interesting, but I do believe Waddle's probably taken at least at 3 overall if he's thrown into this rookie draft. It's weird that you already have the rookie order set for 2024, though. I don't understand that. But if you've got the 1.1, I'd probably take Waddle, especially given he helps your team strongly. I probably do that. But if the chat disagrees, speak up and help this man. Very weird. I've never heard somebody have the 2024 draft order already. True Penguin, thoughts on DJ Moore and Field stack? Love it. It's one of my favorite crafty stacks because it costs you a lot less. It costs you, like, think about it. Burrow is a fourth round guy. Fields is a fourth round guy. Chase is a first round guy. The fact that you can get this stack completed with the fourth and fifth or fourth and sixth round pick, there's very little pressure on that offense needing to explode. You end up having, still a very good week, even if the Bears struggle or something. 12-man PPR QB, Geno, Love, Pollard, Aaron Jones, Javonte, Herb, Charbonnet, Wilson, Ridley, Dotson, Deontay, Zay Flowers. Just traded Geno and Aaron Jones and Deontay for Rodgers, Brees, and St. Brown. Holy crap, bro.
Got him.
That's an absolute smash if I've ever seen one, my guy. Deontay, Geno, and Aaron Jones for Brees. First of all, Brees alone is the best player in the deal. Or St. Brown alone is the best player in the deal. Brees might be tied for him once he gets healthy. And both of them together alone for that package I would have done. That's a really, really, really good trade. You smashed it. That's Vito Popo potential there. And let me just make sure I get all the super chats out of the way. Then I'm coming for you, Chris. Hang tight 1 second, bro. Super chat from let's see here. That was from Ray. I got one from Roxroy who didn't drop a question, but I appreciate the $2 hauler. I'll see if maybe there's another question somewhere that you asked, but try and attach that next time so I can have it there and I don't make you wait. Dab dropping a $5 hauler. Non-PPR 12-team pick 9. Bijan, St. Brown, Debo, Fields, Waller, Javonte, Kamara, Flowers. Very good team. Bijan, St. Brown, Debo is fantastic. Fields, I love it. There's obviously, I don't think you can do anything anyway because these guys need to gain value. Again, like the same theme for a lot of our players. You can't trade them high right now. I like the team anyway. I don't know that there's somebody I even want to swap out. I love the Kamara ready to go. I love Flowers. Javonte, I don't really want to trade him unless I'm getting like a Walker or Brees Hall situation, and I don't think you have anybody that you can add to the equation. Maybe you could go to the Walker owner because you have Charbonnet and say, I'll give you Flowers, who's on the rise, bro. He's going to be a monster. I'll give you Flowers and Javonte for Walker. You could entertain Kamara and Flowers, but I really like Kamara. I think he could be a league winner. I don't think you need to make any moves, but Walker would be the only player on my mind at this point, so that would be something I would look at. Hernandez dropping a 20 watt on screen. Hernandez, appreciate you. Jarrett dropping a $5 on screen. Tyler dropping a $5 on screen. Zach, I see you calling, but I can't answer the phone line because I got to get out of here. I appreciate you calling tonight, Zach. Jarrett, appreciate you. Jarrett said drafted in an 8 out of 10 spot, 0.5 spot yesterday. Got Bijan, Diggs, Gibbs, Walker, Hall, DJ Moore, London, Pickens. Do you like Diggs more than Wilson? I don't. I would take Wilson over Diggs, but that is a phenomenal squad. You know my thoughts on Garrett Wilson, bro. I think Garrett Wilson is going to be maybe 3 to 5. Diggs could be top 5, but I think Garrett Wilson's. I'd rather have Garrett Wilson. Tyler, appreciate you, man. Thank you for the super chat. Very good team. I'm in an auction tomorrow. Should I go after JT? How much? $10, $5. I don't. It just depends, man. It depends on the flow. Wait until you're deep into the draft. If someone calls him out early. I mean, you could call him out early. That would be an actually a tempting player to call out early because maybe you get someone to overspend, or maybe everybody just sits back and you're like, well, I don't know. Maybe nobody even bids on him at all. Let's see here. Okay. And then so Roxy, I'm going to look for your super chat. And Hernandez dropping the 20 watt on screen.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Roxy dropping the super chat here. Let's see here. Where'd it go? Here it is. I'm sorry, Hernandez. Roxy, I'm going to come for it. Hernandez, $20 hauler, 12-team, Burrow, Love, Gibbs, Pierce, McKinnon, Charbonnet, JJ Olave, London, Dell, tight end, Kmet. How'd I do? Anything I should do? Got offered Cousins and Garrett Wilson for Burrow and London. Absolutely no. I'm not trading Cousins, and I'm not trading Burrow and London. I like Garrett Wilson a lot, bro. He's unbelievable, but I'm not trading Burrow. London's good enough. But would I try and trade London and something like London and maybe Pierce for Garrett Wilson, I'd probably go that route. I would probably entertain that. That would be something I would look to do. Again, like so many other people, you scooped up Charbonnet like I advised so that you can initiate a potential Walker trade, which a lot of people will do. A lot of people won't. Pierce and maybe Tony. Pierce and maybe even McKinnon. Pierce and Tony for Walker. Try and force that and get that done. Maybe he's bad at quarterback. You could throw Jordan Love, assuming this is one QB his way. Those would be where I'd probably take those situations. Okay, go ahead. Chris from New York. I got a very short amount of time. Go ahead. This is the last caller of the day. You got about 20 or 30 seconds, so ask me your question, and then I might even hang up on you and answer, or just make it quick.
So here's my question. I'm in the 14-point PPR, and I don't even know if there's much hope. I end up getting Herbert, Pollard, Gibbs, Diggs, Hopkins, Addison, Akers as my starters. I end up with Charbonnet, Romeo Doubs, Sky Moore, Gabe Davis, and Deuce Vaughn on my bench.
Say the starters one more time, not the bench, the starters.
Herbert, Pollard, and Gibbs are Diggs, Hopkins, Addison, and Akers.
Yeah, I'm trading Akers. I'm trying to turn Akers into. And if you look at ADP rankings right now, Akers is going at running back. Or he's going at 70.
Yeah, I got him in the 7th.
So 71 overall. So Javante's below him. Give me Javante.
Javante?
Yeah, I mean Walker and Hall and Najee, those and ETN, they're all a lot higher, so you got to give up more. What are your starting wide receivers again?
Yeah, they're kind of weak. Diggs, Hopkins, and Addison.
They're not weak, but it thins out quickly, obviously. But
Yeah,
I mean,
14 teams, so
yeah,
you
it
get
is
what falls to you.
It is what it is. I would try and sell Akers, as best you can, and name your top bench guys one more time, just like 2 or 3.
Oh, my top bench guys: Charbonnet, Romeo Doubs, and Sky Moore are my top bench guys.
So
I have Gabe Davis too.
I mean, try and get Walker just because you got Charbonnet, or go to the Walker owner and say, give me an upgrade somewhere, and I'll give you Charbonnet. Make sure it's a significant upgrade, like Akers to, some running back you like, or even if you go cross position, Akers to a Ridley, and you give him Charbonnet. Like, you can make people overpay. It doesn't happen every time, but you can. All right. Hey,
okay, thanks,
Chris, call in tonight. We'll break it down a little bit more, I think. I just don't have a lot of time right now. Appreciate you, Chris. Later, pal.
Later.
Okay, thank you. Roxy with this super chat here. Lawrence and Love. Bijan, Hall, Charbonnet. Bigsby. Sun God, Olave, Watson. Very good team. Dell, Laporta. Very, very good squad. Not much to move there. I think I already maybe mentioned, getting Walker in there. You've got Charbonnet. So, all right. Appreciate you all. Thank you so much, Rox, for the super chat. Thank you all for the super chat. Thank you. Thank you, Big J, saying you, the man, Smitty, won me championship last year. Appreciate you. Appreciate every single one of you. Super chat's been rocking lately. I can't thank you guys enough. If I missed a super chat, if you super chatted and somehow, some way I didn't get to it, please let me know in the comments, and I will take care of you in the comments, okay? Especially if you comment on this video, I will take care of you. Just let me know if I missed it. I'll see you all later, and if you hit the thumb up on the way out the door, we're giving away 7 thefantasyfootballshow.com memberships tonight around midnight. I'll be going through the comments of my second to last Instagram post, I believe, the Calvin Ridley, and giving away 7 memberships to this site right here. And I'm going to be going to my Instagram, and on my grid, if you go to my profile, I think the second video is the Ridley reception video. He's catching a reception. In there, drop some fire emojis and tag a couple people. I'm selecting 7 people that have dropped fire emojis in the chat and giving away free $35 thefantasyfootballshow.com membership. So get on over there and do it live. Blackbeard says, Frag had a super chat. I answered Frag unless he did another one. Frag, I got the Frags. We took care of Frags. Did Frag step out? Frag, I got this. I handled 12-team PPR, T-Law, Bijan, Brees, Ridley, Dodson, Andrews, and Pierce. Am I in good shape? I love T-Law. I love Bijan and Brees. Love Ridley. Love Dodson, Andrews. Very good. Pierce is the only one I'm just trying to get into a different vehicle, and the players around Pierce's ADP, it's doable to say, hey, Hall and Walker just slightly ahead. What can I give? I don't necessarily want to give one of your starters, so I don't know if you've got a backup player to make that happen. But don't give away Pierce either. But the fact that you have Brees and Bijan, hopefully you have some other backup running back. If you do, maybe you trade Pierce for Debo. That would be a really smooth move, in my opinion. Thank you, Blackbeard, for letting me know. Thank you all for everything you've done. I'm off to a dinner. I'm going to go have a steak dinner. Blackbeard, appreciate you. Thank you for moderating. Thank you, Travis. Thank you, everybody else in the chat. We'll see you tomorrow. Or see you tonight. See you tonight. Well, tomorrow, 1 a.m. Eastern tonight. We're drafting on Underdog Fantasy. Promo code Smitty. Hit the link in the live chat right now. I'm dropping the link right now. It's in the description of every video. Hit the link. The link puts promo code Smitty into the app for you and downloads the app, and you'll be ready to go. And then when tonight we go live, I'll say open up the app. And if you don't have it, if you haven't signed up using that code and the link, you won't be ready. We're drafting tonight about 1 a.m. I'll see you all later. Appreciate you. Peace out, everybody. Appreciate you. Hit that thumb up button on your way out the door. 338 thumbs up. Later. See you tonight. 1 a.m. 1 a.m. we're drafting. Hit that link. Links dropping one more time. Underdog Fantasy. Promo code Smitty. Hit the link. Get ready. Get signed up. Ready to rumble. Silver in the building. Appreciate you, Silver. Matt, appreciate you. Blackbeard, thank you. Travis Rowe, thank you. Klondike, appreciate you. Shoddy, see you all later. Deuces.